We're gonna do some checking, make sure things are good. Lucas is doing some posting. Look what I got, Lucas.
Oh, nice.
That's my pin. I have my shirt. I have my tie. My vest is coming. Some other stuff is coming. My character is almost fleshed out. My bat pin for my character. Because basically we kind of... So there's kind of a pretense... I don't know. We haven't really explained it to anybody.
Nope.
I
have no idea what
we kind of... Good?
That's fine.
We kind of have, so, like, each person in the band has an animal that they kind of use or a thing they use to represent themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, I use the bat because of what the bat represents, which I'm having a brain fart. But that's Cole's fault. I'm blaming him. So, because of me being the leader, that's what it was. As soon as I clicked search, my brain was like, this is why. So, because of me being the leader of the Cremation Society, bringing the Cremation Society back, bats are normally a sign of death and rebirth. So, I went with the bat with being the forefront. Lucas, we went with the Raven for you, correct? Because of you being, like, the chosen guy to burn people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to show something. Kyle had just brought this back to me, and it makes me super happy. And this is super cool, because this is a piece of music history. Not just for me, for metalheads around the globe. So, one, this is my original snare drum that I toured with when I was younger. But there's a story behind this snare drum. This snare drum was given to me from the drummer of Slayer. This was Dave Lombardo's tour snare drum for the last time he toured with Slayer. This is it. Like, when you shine light on it, you can see all the rainbow flake that it used to have. It shows its age so clearly. You can see all the rainbow flake.
Damn.
That's cool.
Shows its age so clearly. When he gave it to me, it was around the time I started getting into drumming. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking use this because this is so cool. And I don't regret using it to this day. It was such like an inspirational piece to my kit that I don't think I retired it until my last big black kit when I got a different snare and I gave it to you. Because I think I gave it to you and was like, I'll lose this or something. Please take care of it for me.
And I put a shelf in my
I think I specifically said my grandmother will probably throw it away.
I think she said something like that.
Like, it even has, so this thing in here, Lucas, this is a knob-dialed mute. So you turn the knob, and it brings this up against the head and dampens the sound.
Damn.
But this was Dave Lombardo's snare drum for his last tour with Slayer.
I mean, I may still have the hardware for it somewhere at the house. If I find it, I'll
There's a
buy it.
part of me that so wants to restore it and use it again. Like, it would be so cool to restore this and use it on the Cremation Society's first album.
Yeah.
It would be like a full circle thing for me. Like, this is even his sticker. Like, he put this on here. If you look, this isn't a branded snare. This is a custom snare that he had made. There's no name on it. Ruby, you butt nugget. I didn't mean to scare you. Let me go grab a paper towel quick. Kyle, hold that. Good save, Josh. But yeah, that's something that has meant so much to me, and I literally only trusted one person in my lifetime to make sure it didn't disappear, and it was Kyle. Because my grandmother, my mom's side, where I was living at the time I upgraded kits, she's known to be like, that looks expensive, and throw it away. At one point, Kyle had come over, and she had thrown away an entire bundle of my brother's brand new carbon fiber arrows for hunting.
Damn.
Yeah. She's like, I thought they were the old ones. He's like, did they look old? She's like, why did you look like you never used them? He's like, because I just bought them. So yeah, this thing is a piece of metal history. It is a piece of my history. Like, I was touring with this snare before I got with Kyle, and I think everything we wrote was with this, and all of my live shows were with this, up until the new kit.
Yeah.
And I struggled to even not use it. Like, I knew it was old, and I was afraid it was going to get brittle. Like, the rims would get brittle. but there was just something about it that I was like, I need to fucking put it away somewhere before it's never seen again. Like, no one else has this. Like, that's it. Like, he don't even have the original kit anymore. It was a sponsored kit, but this was his custom snare. Also, fucking feel this thing.
Damn, there's
That-
some weight to it, but like.
That is a solid steel snare. That is what gave Slayer their signature, snappy, aggressive sound on the snare drum. It was that snare. This snare was used to record albums. Like, this was his workhorse. And it's like, guy fucking Kyle's like, come out to the car, I have something. And I didn't know what it was. I was expecting, like, Gears T or something, and then I seen it, and my heart, like, actually skipped a beat. I was like, oh my fucking god, he does still have it. Like, there's something in me that I'm like, man, to fucking use it one more time, to throw heads on and restore it and record one more thing, like, one more album would be such a full circle moment.
It's like, I think you talked about this a while ago, too, and you were like, I don't even know if he still has it.
Like, the springs inside are still good. Yeah, this thing is so cool. There's nothing else like it. This is it. Like, this was the end of a chapter for him. The start of a new chapter for Slayer. But, yeah, this is it. Like, people are like, oh, you should have got it signed. You should have did this. I'm like, fuck no. He's an icon to me. I'm going to use that shit. And I did. I used it with his head on it for the longest time. I was so sad when I had to replace the head. But the head wasn't the important part. So yeah, that was my giddy moment for the week. Like, that made me fucking super happy. So welcome to the podcast where I just interrupted everything to show off a fucking snare drum that's been around longer than I've existed. Like, yes.
Yeah, I thought to myself when I pulled out the closet, I was like, Kevin will be happy to have this back. I'm like, I'll put it in the car, make sure I give it to him. But no, when you gave it to me, I kept it at the house and kept it put in the closet up in the shelf, and that's where it sat at. For many years. The only thing is, I took all the hardware off of it. I was trying to clean the hardware up, and I realized it was too rusted and too far gone to try to replace. Or clean up, I mean.
But you know what? The important part of it that makes the sound still exists. So, yeah, so, I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks I should do it, and there's a part of me that's like, no, you should also put it in a closet and act like it doesn't exist. And I don't know which part of me I want to listen to.
The thing is, it's still, I mean, it's old, but it's still in decent shape. You could, I don't think it's going to get brittle anytime soon.
I mean, I took care of that fucking thing. Like, if people be set, like, Kyle would help me set up my kit. I was so anal about that snare. Only I ever handled it. Only I ever tuned it. I did everything with it. Like, it hardly ever touched someone's hand. Like, I used to wrap it in blankets and put it in a suitcase going to shows because I didn't have things to carry stuff. So I was like, I don't fucking want anything to happen to this, but it's so cool to have. And I never, like, it wasn't a thing where I was like, oh yeah, check this out, and went up to everybody about it. It was something that I really kept, like, near and dear to me, that I was like, yeah, I really like this, and it's my thing, and I want to keep it my thing, and it'd be mine forever, and young me remembers it, and old me remembers it.
I remember when you gave it to me, too, because it was right after you got the black kit. And
Yep.
And you're like, I know you're a Slayer fan, and I think you'll really appreciate this, and you gave it to me. He's like, just please take care of it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that fucking made me happy. Anyway, what's up, people? Sorry. I fucking had to share my happy moment. It made me so goddamn happy. Anyway, we did a movie before the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
It was
We
cool.
did Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Equally as hated as it is loved. What'd you guys think? Especially you two.
I liked it.
It was a fun movie.
It's quirky.
I liked that it was more funny than scary, but they still tried to be kind of creepy with the
Yeah,
how the clowns look.
The clowns definitely have that, like, otherworldly look to them. You look at them, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely a monster.
But I liked it. I liked that it was like that. It's trying to be, like you said, satire and not be super scary. Because I'm not into scary movies that are super gory and bloody and gross like that.
Like,
So I enjoyed it.
yeah, I don't know, it's a fun watch, and it's meant to be a fun watch. And there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff that I think in the 80s, in 88 when it came out, it was very much, like, over people's head. But now people watching like, oh my god, this is actually, like, I get it. Like, all of this makes sense now.
Yeah.
Kyle, you haven't watched it in years, and you say, oh, I don't like that movie. I don't know why. There was a time where I remember you specifically, you were like, I don't know what you see in that movie.
Thing
And I was
is-
like, I love the satire. It's
The
great.
thing is with me, since I started learning film and studying screenwriting and stuff like that, there's a lot of movies I used to just dislike so much that I now have found an appreciation for. And that's one of those. That movie actually is a good example of that. I found a little bit of appreciation for it, especially since they did so much of practical effects on it, which isn't something you really see nowadays in filmmaking. Because everybody in filmmaking, they might do a little practical, but everything else is CGI and green screen,
Right.
which I feel sometimes just really ruins what could be great scenes in a movie.
I think so. The things I really love about it, one of the things I really love is that it took a time. So in the 80s, Kyle, you're a huge horror fan. Josh, you've watched a lot of horror with me, and you know about horror. In the late 80s of horror, it was all about slashers, being scary, up in your face, being gory. And they were just like, okay, watch this. Like, this is going to be fun. That was like that first impression came off to me immediately. It's like this movie is actually fun. Like even in the clowns at their scariest point, they're so goofy. Like the scene where Slim is doing all the fucking shadow puppets, and then he
Yeah.
turns into a dinosaur and just picks all the people up and puts them in a bag of popcorn. You're like, who the fuck would find this scary or that clown scary? Like it's such a goofy experience.
Yeah.
The other thing I love is the fact that they use actual painted backdrops. They're noticeable in the movie, whether you watch the Ultra HD remasters or you went to the drive-in and watch it like I did or this, you see them. But I respect that because there's so much work to do that. Versus now they just throw up a big fucking green or blue screen and like, backdrop's behind you, don't worry about it. Like, the amount of time they spent in set building alone.
Right.
Every scene was so like beautifully laid out and lit. Like there was never a Friday the 13th barely lit hockey mask. Everything is like super vibrant, in your face. Even when the clowns, during the clown march scene where they're marching down the street, like yeah, they're in the street. It's nighttime. It's dark out. Like we know when it's nighttime and dark out. It's not super bright on every street, but that scene is so extremely lit and bright and vibrant. And I think the last thing that topped it on my list, it's a horror movie with color. It's
Yeah.
super colorful, and I love that because even when you even compare it to It is nowhere like the original It with Tim Curry or the new one is nowhere near as colorful. It's very drab. It's very dark.
Yeah,
This movie, they were just like color everywhere,
Yeah.
color on everything, color in the cars, color in the
It
truck.
is a Stephen King book, though.
Yeah,
And he's not known to have, like, the brightest of...
Yeah, but when it comes down to directing in movies, it's really up to the director and producer's choices, which is,
and the director of photography.
and like, it's very uncommon to find a colorful horror movie. Like, one of the big things you'll notice with Saw is very dark, it's black, it's blue, it's white. That is Saw in a nutshell. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is very tan, very yellow, still very dark. When you look at, like, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they're like, here's the fucking rainbow, enjoy it. And then, like, even Trick or Treat, which is the bust Brie has over here of Sam, it's a colorful movie. They really focused on making colors pop. Versus, like, Halloween. The only thing that pops in all of Halloween is Michael's mask.
Mm.
That's it. Like, everything else is shot so dark. And even in the new Halloweens, it's dark. Like, half the time people are like, that's why no one knew what color Michael's jumpsuit was for the longest time. They
Right,
just
'cause you
thought it
can't
was
see
either
it.
black or green. No,
Right.
it's actually gray. It's just so fucking dark in the movie, you can't see it.
The most colorful thing in 2018 was the checker floor in the
Yeah,
asylum.
right at the beginning of the asylum, yeah. So, like, I don't know, there's something about that. I wish more people would take that leap to make colorful horror movies.
I'll say if you think about it, you remember like staying up late to watch all the AMC fucking October runs.
Fear Friday, and Oktoberfest. Two things that from my childhood that I
only ever
watched when I
see-
shouldn't have.
You only ever see most of the slasher films on there.
But even so, like if we talk colors, so we talk colors in horror movies. Like even Children of the Corn, very tan. Jeepers Creepers, very tan. Jump to the other side of the field, we talk Chucky, very blue, very dark, with only Chucky's outfit being the colorful thing.
Mhm.
I think the most colorful Chucky part is when they're in the factory.
Yeah. I was gonna actually.
But horror movies are so afraid to be colorful. And it's such a... It's almost desensitizing. Like, it
Well,
doesn't
it's
feel
like-
like reality
it's
because
not that
we
they're
know
It's
reality
not that they're
to...
afraid of being colored. I guess.
It doesn't set the
It's
mood.
The gloominess.
But the thing is like, we know reality is colorful. Like, just look at my fucking house. Like, there's colorful Funko Pops. I have different characters from horror movies. Like, you look at all of these different things, and they all have one thing in common when it comes to fucking pictures of, like, horror movie icons. They're all dark. Like, they're all very dark. Like, Friday the 13th, the only thing you really see is Kane Hodder's mouth. In that one, even though it's all the killers in Leatherface, you literally only see what's lit in their face, and like you could really see Michael Myers' face in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the top right, and that's the one thing. Like Dallas always caught my attention when he does his hand art with all the stuff. Like even his the red balloon is very bright. The Michael Myers, he's the backlit color. He always does something to make horror colorful. And the thing is, like, yes, there's a time and a place for dark horror. Like, I do agree, like, the black and white stuff, like Frankenstein.
Right.
I don't think they hold up in color. I've watched them all remastered in color, and they don't have the same vibe. They're not as gothic when you strip away the black and white and put them in color. And they really, to me, lose their whole volume of the story.
When they decided to colorize Frankenstein, they made him green. For some reason.
He was green.
Was
He was painted green when they did it in black
Well,
and
no,
white.
But I'm saying, I mean, the green thing for Frankenstein never really.
It was weird, but the reason why they painted him green, and I don't know if you know this, Remy, the reason why they painted him green is because in their mind, a dead and rotting body back then was green.
Mhm.
That's what they thought. And then when they made The Bride of Frankenstein, if you follow that story, the bride that they made, all the parts they got to make the bride, they were never fully dead. They weren't in the ground, so they were blue in color. So that's why when they brought them to color, the bride was blue and Frankenstein was green. And like the creature from the Black Lagoon was always green. What do you think about when you see like a scummy lake? The green ugliness
Yeah,
of
because
the...
he had like dark green and light green
Yep.
like scales, but his front was like a tan color.
Like
Because
those
of all the
characters...
algae in the water.
Those the least colorful character in all of horror is Dracula. The most color he had ever would have been his red cloak until the... I don't even know when it came out. It was the newer version of Dracula where he wore the red gown and had the big white hair.
Brent,
That wasn't Bram. Don't say Bram Stoker because that's black and white.
no.
But you know what I'm talking about.
It's, but yeah, when you swatch it, though, it actually says Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, because
on
it's
it.
based off of that.
Yeah, it's based off this book.
Well, actually, I actually have it on DVD.
Like, even my Funko Pop. So, fucking, Remy, you'll appreciate this because you said you were into the black and white stuff. So, I got
Yes.
Brie. She's really into the Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein stuff. So, I got Brie this.
Frankenstein's cool.
And it's the fucking, they're black and white. And I love it. I love it for that reason. There's no color. Even
I like
Bree's
that.
her original bride is black and white,
Yeah.
and they do color versions, and I'm like, I don't like them. Like, they have a colored
No.
version of the
I
werewolf.
like that.
They have a colored version of the werewolf, a colored version of Nosferatu. They have a colored Wolfman, and I won't do it until they do that.
No, I like that. That's so
Like,
cool.
I picked this up at Hot Topic for Brie. I went in looking for a Killer Clowns because they have I need 2 more pops to complete my Killer Clowns collection,
Yeah.
which is the baby clown, and I need the other one from Spirit, which is the scene where Shorty pops up out of the pizza boxes and turns her into cotton candy.
Yeah.
And I went in there looking for that, and I seen it, and I was like, oh my god, thank god they're fucking black and white, because they show the color pictures on the site, and I bought it for Brie, and she's like, wow, they actually had it? I was like, yeah, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad they like did that and didn't just release the like
The
remastered
color, yeah, the
ones.
recolored version.
Mhm.
And I get people like that, but for me, there's something like more nostalgic about
Yeah,
seeing
they're
them in
the
black and
classic,
white.
I guess classic versions of it. Like that's how at least how I first saw Frankenstein.
But like, even still, when you think about when they colorized it, getting back into the color topic, when they colorized Frankenstein, Bride and Frankenstein, everything was really dark. The characters were colored. When they colorized Creature of the Black Lagoon, everything was dark. Everything was colored. When they colorized The Mummy, everything was dark, but it was very tan. Like, I feel if more directors took a leap, and I'm gonna use Jordan Peele as an example because though I'm not a huge fan of a lot of his movies, he's very colorful with his stuff.
What did he direct? I'm not
So-
good with director names.
Get Out.
Get Out. He just did. Oh, it was an Alien one. Oh shit! What was the Alien one he just did?
Wasn't it A Quiet Place?
Quiet Place. He did that. He did
Okay.
Us.
Okay.
He did Us.
Talking about the Whisper movie.
Nope. I'm gonna look it up.
Because A Quiet Place is the one where if you make a sound, the freaking aliens come out of the sky and get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't talk or something.
Yeah. Also, Bram Stoker's Dracula the movie was made in 1992.
So he did the Candyman 2021, which was like the most drab of all of his movies he's done.
I didn't see that.
Holy shit! I didn't know he did Toy Story 4.
What?
I didn't know that either.
That's an interesting one.
Another one that's super colorful that he's behind is the I think it's the HBO series. It's the Lovecraft or the fucking Lovecraft series he did.
Oh.
Super colorful, but also goth noir.
Mhm.
Thing is with him, with his horror movies, he's kind of like the Spike Lee of horror movies. If you think about it, because he does bring a lot of different things like political and like the Black Lives Movement type thing into a lot of his stuff.
So that's the only thing that I no, it was so his recent movie was Get Out. But there isn't the Alien movie I'm thinking of is like I can visually remember the scene where they show like a dude getting mauled by an ape on like a TV set. Like I can see it happening, and I don't know what movie it was.
It's an alien movie with.
An alien movie with an ape. Sure, it's not Planet of the Apes.
No. Maybe it was Get Out.
Because Get Out has
I
them
haven't seen
fucking
Get Out, so I can't.
Does Get Out have it where like the alien spaceship is just like cloaked, hidden over town? Like there's a family that lives on a
Are
farm.
you thinking of like District 9 or something?
No, it's a Jordan Peele directed movie. Dude, I watch so many
What?
horror movies. When they're
The family on the farm for that is it like their kid deaf?
no.
Because in
No.
that one, the one girl is deaf, so they always have to like use sign for her.
No. But see, that's the thing. Like,
See,
there-
when you're talking about the only thing I'm thinking of Signs, but that wasn't him who
No.
made that.
like that's the thing. Like mediocre horror movies, I don't remember. But a lot of the shit that was impactful that I thought was great movies, I vividly remember. Like here's something that was always shot super colorful but also dark. I love the Tales from the Crypt series. Like just that intro, that bow 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 bow, and they go into the house, and then you would always get the hello kitties. I was so sad when I went to the one con. he had not been there the Saturday he was supposed to because he was sick, or I would have got that dude's autograph.
Was it Nope?
That's it.
Yeah, I thought it was Nope.
I'm looking at it and it shows two people staring at the sky, so I'm like, that might be the
You
one.
know, someone who's super colorful, and I don't know if you know, Elvira.
Yeah.
Elvira, everything that they were in was super colorful, super vibrant. And I always thought it was funny. Like, even to this day, people are like, oh, yeah, I fucking, like, blah, 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 blah. And, like, there's no way she's a lesbian. And I'm like, bro, get over yourself. She's already come out and admitted it. I'll admit it, too. I think that she is fucking smoking, even in her fucking 60s. But, like, she was always a vibrant, quirky, like, horror character that never, like, she became such an icon. And I'm noticing now, the things that are becoming iconic in horror are all the things that were colorful and not afraid to break boundaries. Things that really fit into today's society.
Well, when she started as Elvira, wasn't that supposed to be like a one-time thing?
It was supposed to be a one-time thing,
And
yeah.
she was just very popular.
I think her name is Cassandra Peterson.
Just-
She's right there.
that sounds about
I
right.
have her anniversary glitter in a red dress. That's Breeze. The lucky pickup. Most of these aren't mine unless you're Killer Clowns or the alien over here.
Facts.
And the Hellraiser ones are mine, and the Creepshow ones are mine because I love. For me,
And whatever one you have there for Portal.
oh no, I haven't made a stand for him yet. He's upstairs hiding.
Uh,
But everything else is Breeze, like all the Avatar. Well, Leatherface is mine.
That was Grimlock.
Yeah, Grimlock, he's upstairs.
He's right there.
Oh no, he is right there. Yeah, I have Grimlock, that's mine. But when you weigh it out, like, the only reason we have all the mini mellows doing all the different things is because she thought they were so cute. She's like, you're so cute! When I wanted to get the big, like, fucking 30-inch, they released, like, a big 30-inch Funko of the original Stay Puft. Like, no.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. No, the original one's not cute. So, let's dive into this. Thinking about colorful horror, let's talk children's horror. Coraline, Nightmare Before Christmas. A lot of that stuff was super colorful and vibrant. I am a huge Coraline fan.
It's a good movie.
Leica does so good with their movies, no matter what it is. Like, even Kubo and the Two Strings, they did The Missing Link, they did The Box Trolls. I always love how, like, one movie can be super colorful, and then The Box Trolls is, like, very Victorian, very drab.
Yeah.
But, like, if you were to compare what I would say are the two juggernauts for children's horror animated, and you take The Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, they're both dark, but they're also both super colorful. Like, when they bring color in, it's like, here's color!
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't 9? I'm pretty sure it was.
yeah, 9.
Yep.
9 was fucking horrifying for a children's movie.
Yep.
What is it?
But
It was
anything...
like these sack people, and like
They always remind me
they
of
went on
Voodoo.
like a suicide mission.
Yeah, they always remind me of Voodoo Dolls.
Yeah. And like I don't remember
that shit
much,
was,
but
like, yeah, as a kid, that shit is scary.
See, I always liked Corpse Bride, but that movie is very
That's very drab blue.
yeah.
blue,
Very
gray.
blue.
Yeah.
One of the movies that I like, and it never really stood up, Tim Burton, Frankenweenie. A lot of people hated
I
it.
love that movie.
A lot
I
of
love
people
all the
hated it because it
claymation
was
movies.
black and white, and I'm like, I fucking love it. It's great.
It made me cry as a kid because like it got sad because it was
I
like a
think
I
dog.
can see that.
I
Yeah,
think
it did
I
It
get
was
see
a
very
dog
sad.
like dying, and they were like,
Oh God, Carl. Oh, you'll remember it. They won't. It's before their time.
uh oh.
You're gonna try to call me old?
No,
Yeah.
it's a me and you thing. It's a fucking. It was a kids live action like horror comedy, where the kid befriended like a demon, like a teenager demon
Oh
guy.
yeah,
He lived under his bed. It was
Yeah.
super colorful.
yeah.
was
It
it?
had Fred
Oh.
Savage in it.
Like if I can think of the name, you'll love it. It's great. It's cheeky, but it's very much that like 80s,
Wasn't
90s
it called like
teenage
Little
comedy.
Monsters or something like that?
I think it is Little Monsters.
Yeah,
That
Little
sounds-
Monsters.
Little Monsters.
Yep, I
I've
remember
watched
that. I've seen it.
Yeah, because
watched
the
it.
Yeah,
dude, he,
because the
the,
monster that
the
goes up-
dude he's
because the
friends with
monster's
is blue and has like
Yeah.
horns, and he saves him from the demons in the other realm.
Yeah, because when he first.
It's a kids movie, but there's a point in that movie where it gets really dark, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Is this a Monster House?
Yeah,
We were
that,
talking about Monster House earlier. I love that movie.
Waxworks just pressed the original soundtrack to vinyl, and I'm like, "Oh man, this is deadly."
I don't
Oh,
know
that
if
would
I've
be
ever
cool.
seen Monster House.
Really?
Yeah, you have.
Have
That's
I?
where the kid across the street is convinced. Like, the old man is grouchy, but the house is actually his, like, wife's spirit.
Yeah.
And, like, at the end of the movie, the house goes full-fledged monster house and, like, starts walking around. If you haven't seen it, you need to
That-
watch
it's
it.
I
an
might have
amazing
started
movie.
watching it one night and fell asleep in it, but I don't know if I've ever seen it all the way
Even
through.
though it's a kids movie, like it's awesome. I even have
Monster,
it on
yeah,
TV.
it has a good story behind it.
Yeah, it's really good. My brother was obsessed with it for years. Like he would just
Huh.
watch it every day.
Yeah, I knew what it was. I just don't think I ever actually seen it.
It's so good. Like,
But yeah, any claymation movie like that, that's like kind of scary. I love those things.
and like, if you think about Tim Burton has always resided on the side of dark and horror, but he's always kind of been in the horror comedy side. But when you think about Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, which was black and white, but it was very, like, punchy black and white.
Yeah.
When you think about Edward Scissorhands, they're all super colorful,
Mhm.
like, in their own way.
No. Yes and no.
Yeah, but there's color there.
There is. I mean, in Beetlejuice, the most colorful thing in Beetlejuice is when they end up in Saturn the fucking sand.
Think about all the lighting when they go to the after or the next realm.
Well,
Everything's brightly lit green and blue, like,
And red.
and then like you think about the little like, with the fucking like the play town that was set up, like everything's super colorful and punchy.
Well, yeah.
Yes, the live action world of the movie where they lived and the house was dark, but like all the little nuances of Beetlejuice and the little play set and being in the other world were super colorful and vibrant.
Edward
With-
Scissorhands.
Even his hair is neon green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, the way he did that was fucking brilliant. To take Beetlejuice and be like, okay, the real world is dark and gloomy and gross. Let's take the afterlife and make it colorful and vibrant and exciting. And like, think about the Beetlejuice
Well, yeah,
tombstone. It's fucking gray and it flashes fucking red.
Yeah.
Or like what the hell is the name of that fucking whorehouse he went to in the movie?
Oh god, yeah. It's all super colorful. And like when they're sitting in the waiting room and like the shrunken head dude, like that whole scene is so extravagantly lit and fucking gorgeous.
I freaking remember seeing it in the movie too, when he freaking swaps the fucking number with the
Yeah.
tribes.
I'm excited to see the sequel. I really am. I know it's been a long time, but I still feel like with Tim Burton at the helm, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
I don't know.
The original cast, for the most part, is coming back for it, right?
Yep. I think it's gonna be a good movie. I really do. And to be honest, like, even when you think about like Hocus Pocus, which I'm not a huge fan of those movies, but I think they're like the sequel.
I like the Hocus Pocus
But
movie.
the sequel, for as long as it took, I was expecting it to be a flop. And we had watched it with Mason, and when we were done, we were like, wow, that was actually good.
It was good.
It was enjoyable to watch.
But getting back to Beetlejuice, you know that there's a big plot hole in that movie, right?
Nope.
So the plot hole, and it's been going on for many years, people have been discussing this one, is that when you see all the different spirits in the movie, they all are shown in their death state. Like the guy was run over and the guy was hanging and the shrunken. But yet, the two, I can't think of their names on the top of my head right now. The Deetas,
Yeah.
they drowned. Why weren't they wet?
That's good.
And that has been a controversy for a very long time of people in that movie, because they showed all the other ones in death states,
That's the rose.
It's almost
Another
like
good
wine.
example is
Yeah.
the football team.
Yep. Yeah, it's... See, and the thing is, like, my parents were always like, you can't watch horror, you can't watch this, but I was allowed to watch all that shit. The kids' horror stuff. And back then, it was very much as much horror as horror was horror.
my
It just
mom-
didn't have blood in it.
My mom hated Nightmare Before Christmas.
Here's
Why?
the thing. Okay, fucking, I'll take heat for this, and I don't care. As much as I respect the movie, it has blown up to the point where it has almost become fucking annoying.
No, I agree.
Like,
I really like the movie, and I like that there's a lot of stuff available for it.
Yep.
But it wasn't it made like 30 years ago.
yeah,
The
literally.
thing is, there's movies that were good examples.
But
Killer Clowns.
fucking hang on, because I'm gonna continue my tangent quick. Like, I get it. It's a pop culture icon, and I 100% understand that. But they are literally if they can Nightmare Before Christmas it, they are. And it's gotten to the point where, like, I used to before, like, okay, and this has kind of happened in like the last 3 years. And since that's kind of happened, like, now I watch it and I'm like, yeah, I don't like it as much as I used to, because everyone's like, Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm like, ever watch Coraline? Nah, I don't think I would like that movie. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, Coraline is amazing.
But you
And it doesn't even have close to the cult following. And I think the story behind Coraline is creepier, but better, because, like, for me, I can relate to, like, my parents always being busy and not being able to be around, like, that isolation and wanting to find another place. And then, like, the whole concept of this other world being exactly what you want, but, and it teaching you a lesson that exactly what you want isn't always a good thing.
No.
And, yeah, fuck Nightmare Before Christmas
Nightmare
right
Before
now.
Christmas, when it came out back in the 90s, a lot of people seen it, but it was only, 2000s when it really built a cult following?
I don't think it truly built a cult following until the last 3 years. For some reason, since its 30th anniversary, it has fucking blown up.
I think it was
Yeah.
popular because
It was popular, yes.
but it's like doubled or tripled
Yeah.
at this point.
And
Like,
the thing is,
it's in
it
every
should be,
store.
it's my generation of people and your generation of people who are blowing it way out of fucking
absolutely.
proportion.
Absolutely.
For no fucking reason.
It's the greatest movie ever. And I'm like, Coraline is better. Fucking Monster House is better. Like, it's a good movie and it's a good it's a good story and it's got a lot of things going on. But here's the thing. It lacks things that I really like in a movie. Like the character development between Jack and Sally. Like, all of a sudden them falling in love at the end of the movie. Where you, like, the whole movie you watch, you're like, yeah, Sally really likes him. Sally really likes him. But he doesn't fucking pay attention to Sally at all. Until after fucking Sally bails his big dumb ass out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those...
Think about, like, society now. That's, like, pretty much how relationships roll.
You're not wrong. But, like, for me, Coraline, like, though it's a fast-paced movie, I feel like they built Coraline up great and her relationship with her parents up great. Like, just that whole pretense of the movie. And, like, like, this scene when she's dressed in her rain jacket and her mom's like, don't you even think about it, Coraline Jones. I'm like, I've been yelled at just like that. Like, but, like, the character build-up, and then when they meet Mr. Babinski and his character build-up, and then the old ladies downstairs, which I can't think of their fucking name, their build-up. Like, they build all of these characters up, but they don't just do it in the real world. They build them up. They're two different sets of characters in both worlds.
Wasn't there something to do with mice in that movie
Yes,
too?
Mr. Babushka and the Dancing Mice.
That's it.
He's supposedly putting on this, like, mice circus, but, like, it's just not working out for him. But when you go to the other world, which is what it's called, the other world, it runs perfectly. Her and other YB go into the circus tent, and it's like this extravagant, colorful event. And then, but when the movie comes to a head and they go back, it's like really gothic and dark and very, like, horror related. But I fucking love that. I've watched that movie so many times, like almost like Killer Clowns. Like, it almost recite line for line.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's ever been a time where I watched it and like got part of the way through and I'm like, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, no, I fucking love this movie. Every time I watch it, I'm like, yes, this movie is so good. My favorite scene from the whole movie is when Coraline meets other father and he's at the piano.
I love
And the
that
fucking
scene.
piano plays for him and it's like super colorful and vibrant. Like that scene and then the recall to that scene when the other world is falling apart and he's like, he can't talk right, he can't function, and the piano's trying to shut him up. It's such a cool, like, correlation between the reality and the darkness of fucking trying to have what you want and, like, trying to force things. I fucking love that movie. And, like, even Frankenweenie does that. Like, they very much harken on, like, you can have everything you want, but is it really fucking worth it?
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Because he goes through all of like the trials of trying to get the dog back together,
Yep.
and like all the science experiments and like hiding it from his parent, like all of that stuff with that movie. Like,
And,
it's
like,
awesome.
I
That-
remember a movie, not to cut you off, but
Mm.
I remember a movie back from the early 90s, late 80s that was kind of like Frankenweenie too. Where a kid's dog got killed and they somehow reanimated him with I remember him having the bolts and stuff in his neck. He was a Jack Russell is what he was in the movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if
I can
the
fucking
name, but I can see it.
I can see it
And
too.
that was done in black and white too. But I can't think of the name of the movie.
I only know the.
I'm fucking trying to think of it now. But and here's the thing: don't think I'm knocking drab horror movies, because one of my favorite movies of all time, even beyond Michael Myers, is Hellraiser. There's something about the universe that Clive created writing the books. Like, I've read all the books, I've listened to them in audiobooks, I've seen the movies hand over fist so many times. And certain universes require that. But here's one thing that most people don't realize, that me and you had talked about. Clive was so ahead of his time with the original Hellraiser book. Have you read it? You should.
I don't know anything about
So
Hellraiser universe.
I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna give you a backstory behind this. So Clive Barker is a gothic dark style author. It's kind of always what he
Up
did.
my alley. Perfect.
Yeah. So one of the big things with Clive Barker, and one of the big things he was always invested in, Was-
Dominatrix shit.
dominatrix shit, and I don't want to use. I'm not going to use the official term. I'm going to refer to it as he does, transsexualism.
Mm-hmm.
So when he wrote the books as all the Cenobites were non-binary, and he's come out and said that they are what you want them to be. They are. So the way he worded it, and it comes off as Pinhead, even in the new movie when you watched it with us, Lucas. It comes off that way. The Cenobites are what you want them to be. They're your lust. They're your desire. They're whatever you want. And that even back when Doug Bradley was Pinhead back in the 80s, that was always the thing. Pinhead has never been directly a man or a female. None of the Cenobites were ever directly meant to be anything.
Except for the one called female.
Yeah, the one called female was the one female, but that doesn't even transverse. That didn't even come out of Clive's universe. That director was like, I'm doing this. And at that time, Clive didn't have his shit back, so he didn't have a choice. But, like, to think about that in the 80s, to make things transsexual and be part of a community that didn't even exist, to me is so fucking cool. Like, it was always mystical to me. Like, these beings from, and they're not from hell. They're not fucking demons. Because if you actually get into the Clive books, there's a whole comic series that also lays everything out, where the Cenobite world is against the demon. For one, here's the best thing, it's all about sexual things. The biggest thing the Cenobite world was about was the sexualization of females against the demons. There's a fucking whole comic series in the middle where the fucking Cenobites go to war with hell.
Well, the labyrinth is part of hell. It's just that they're like warring nations essentially.
Yeah, basically, so look at the labyrinth as the purgatory of hell. They don't align with hell's ideals, and they don't align with the overworld's ideals either, so they can't go to heaven and they can't go to hell. But everything about the Labyrinth is about lust and desire and having what you want. And really, like, a lot of people watch the movies and, yeah, there's gory shit. And I'm like, man, if you read the books and realize, like, there's a scene where it's in the Scarlet Gospels book where Pinhead comes and he's summoned by a reverend. And Pinhead comes out and Pinhead goes, it's something along the lines of Pinhead comes out and he's like, you summoned me and obviously you're looking for pleasures, but I see your pleasures, and he literally calls him out, our young boy. In our world, we do not allow that, and I will not allow you to see our pleasures. And he literally eviscerates him. Like, the way... So Clive is super, and you'll know this, Clive is super descriptive. When he is describing what's happening to someone, there are points where you read it and you go, holy fuck! Like... At that scene, it says Pinhead summons Chains, and Chains hook the Reverend from all angles as it begins to rip the flesh from his bone, as the other Cenobites come out of the portal to start eating him alive, to pay for the sins he committed against children. And I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I didn't need the mental picture, but I have it now.
Yeah.
Damn.
That sounds cool, though.
But Clive Barker, like, the whole Hellraiser series, and a lot of people knock the new movie for that exact reason. The new movie was less nuancy about it. It was very in your face about LGBTQ and transsexualism and being open about things. Like, one of the main fucking characters in the movie is a gay couple.
Yeah.
And, like, they're very open about it. And everyone... The big thing that I loved about the new movie is the key thing that Clive has always hammered on in all the movies. Addiction, not good. Not being accepted, not good. But also, those people, and the whole concept of the Hellraiser universe is people trying to find another outlet.
Mavis.
Don't even bark. The whole concept of it is those people who feel like they don't belong, the gay people, the transsexual people, the people with addiction who feel like they can't go anywhere else for help, rely on the box for freedom. And once you, like, if you understand that concept in the books, and then you watch the movies, I feel like it kind of takes away from the movies. Like, when you read the book and you watch the movies, you're like, yeah, the book was way better.
Well, that's usually how it works with most. But I like the books, and I like the movies, and I like the comics. So.
But, like, and it brings to the whole topic. Like, Killer Clowns and Hellraiser were way ahead of their time. If they started those series now, they would be fucking huge. They would be so impactful. But when we talk about 80s horror, exactly what you said, Remy. Sex, lust, stupid shit. Like, just the dumbest shit. Like, people don't have common sense. Like, they always portray the stoner as this big, dumb fucking dickhead. But we all know I fucking have stoner friends who are super smart. You're like, wow, look at the fucking stereotype. And the worst movie for, the worst two, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, were the worst. Were the worst up until Dreamcatchers or Dream Warriors. The whole Dream Warriors movie had gay people and all the, but it was very tongue in cheek about it. But it was a lot of the messages behind the movie that you had to watch and understand. But like Friday the 13th was even Halloween. Like the first Halloween movie was babysitters having lustful sex. There was no drugs in it, but like. It was very, like, obvious that they were...
No, there was.
Was there?
No, there was weed and shit in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah, there was. Oh, yeah, they were smoking weed in the car.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nightmare on Elm Street had a lot of that.
Fucking Nightmare on Elm Street is...
ridiculous.
I still think of all the Hellraiser movies, not kind of the newest one, though, one of the most visceral ones in the entire franchise was the third movie.
Yeah, that was...
Well, if you think about it, a lot of people do drugs and then they fall asleep.
Yeah.
That makes sense for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but there was very much, like, Freddy directly, like, jabbing people for being different.
Yeah.
It was very... Like, even... The reason why Robert Englund won't be Freddy again isn't because he's too old. It's because he knows they're going to make him say things that just don't fit. Freddy would not fit in a modern movie era.
I think a lot of things, like the jokes and stuff that he said in those movies, were Robert Englund just improving.
Oh. I haven't seen them, so I have no idea what he said. Or
I mean, even then, like, the 80s, like, were, like, anti-drug, anti-sex
Yeah.
kind of era.
Aside from the fact of taking so many fucking pills to try and stay awake because Freddy was coming for you.
Yeah, but I don't think the pill thing came along until the 90s Nightmare on Elm Street era. Am I wrong,
Yeah.
Kyle?
That was like 4 or 5?
Well, they started it was in Dream Warriors, which is the third one, is where they started the pills because they were.
The pills to stay awake.
No, the pills were not to keep them awake. It was supposed to stop them from dreaming.
Oh yeah.
I forget what the pill was called though, off the top of my head.
Well, there was one. I think it was 4 or 5. One of them was like taking a shit ton of pills to stay awake.
Well, they were probably caffeine pills.
Yeah. Cause I think in that same one, the one chick, she took sleeping pills to go into the dream world, to go after Freddy.
That would have probably been.
that sounds goofy.
Well, Nancy died in the end of the third one. I think it was the third one or the fourth one that she died. I think it was the third. Well, all the survivors of the third movie got killed off in the beginning of the fourth one.
Right.
Also, I kind of look forward to, off topic, I look forward to, like, hopefully we can have more nights like tonight where I can kind of take you guys down a path of horror that most people don't know. Like, one movie that I really love that Kyle hates is the Funhouse movie. But if you watch it from a pretense of, if you treat it like a thriller and less like a horror, I love it, but it's another movie that capitalizes on being different isn't bad. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at. It's a super suspenseful movie. It's a lot more jump scary than, like, Killer Clowns is.
Yeah.
But it's not jump scary in a sense, like, it's another movie where they really suppress the gore. Have either one of you watched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Damn.
Do you want to guess how much?
I have
Honestly,
not seen a lot
I
of
want to
movies.
I want to throw this out there. You shut the fuck up, and you shut the fuck up. How much blood, knowing what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, how much
Yep.
blood do you think was used in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the original?
Like in milliliters?
They used
In
exactly.
gallons?
They used exactly 1 ounce of blood in the original movie. There is almost no blood at all.
Oh my god.
And that movie started what is the Thrasher.
No, there was a little bit more than that, because if you remember the scene when fucking Leatherface bashes the guy in the head with the hammer, blood does run out of his head.
But they cut away.
Yeah, but you still see enough of a pool. It was probably about, that's a little bit more than an ounce.
According to horror aficionados, only 1 ounce has ever been recorded on set of that movie. Which is a big change when you switch over to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking... It's a tongue-in-cheek satire horror movie with a fucking hillbilly inbred family. And most of all, one of, honestly, the most iconic actors of all time, Bill Moseley, who plays... I guess he's like the leader of the Firefly family from Devil's Rejects. But, like, Bill Moseley plays this...
Well, isn't he the leader of the Firefly family? I thought it was
No,
Spaulding.
no, it's him.
No, yeah, it is. It's him.
Because he's
It's not-
Otis. He's he leads the ceremony in the first movie.
I never
Yeah.
actually seen
If
the
you've
very
never
first-
watched fucking...
Spaulding just kind of.
If you never watched House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects, that's a road we get down to way down in the future.
Well,
That-
I've seen
yeah.
Devil's Rejects. I haven't seen.
I'm
You haven't
talking
seen-
about
you haven't
them
seen
two.
a
This
House
is
of
a new
Thousand
world.
Corpses?
I
House of
haven't
Thousand
seen a
Corpses is
lot.
good to have information that predates the stuff for Devil's Reject of, like, everything that
The
actually
biggest
goes on.
thing is the House of a Thousand Corpses. Anything in that franchise, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects,
Three from Hell.
Three from Hell, you have to treat them. They are visceral. this is a Rob Zombie universe,
Yeah.
and they are fucking. I don't want to say gore porn, but they are fucking.
Oh, like,
They're very much murder in reality, is the way they
Mm.
play it.
the only thing with Rob Zombie's films, not counting the Halloween films he did, but his own original films, he gets a little too experimental, I think, in his movies.
I agree, and if you watch them, you'll see it. You'll be like, "Oh, that's different. I've never seen." Like, if you watch 31, it's kind of hard to watch. He gets so experimental. You get lost. There's certain scenes where like
the camera's always shaking.
the camera's always shaking, and I'm like, "Ah, dude, this fucking ruins the whole." Like, if he would have stopped shaking the camera for 20 minutes in 331, I would have been all in for it.
That just
Because-
sounds like it makes your eyes hurt.
It does. And like the concept of 31 is fucking cool. It's all these rich people who kidnap all these fucking poor and unfortunate people and put them in this gauntlet with a bunch of fucking insane serial killers, and you have to see who survives.
Ugh.
Who can make it to the end. Like, the concept is fucking cool, but he
Yeah.
ruined it.
Someone remake it without
It's
all
like
the shaking.
The book that was written about like the man that always hunts like trophies, but the ultimate trophy is hunting a human.
Isn't that Deer Hunter?
No, it was a book that we probably read in school.
Yeah, because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just like,
It was like a standardized test book.
yeah, it was just like called like the Hunter or some shit.
Because the Deer Hunter was a very similar story.
Cause originally like this big rich guy has like trophies of like everything from lions, elephants, and whatnot, and then they're like we need something that's just like better, something that's more ultimate. So, like kidnap two people to try and survive while he gives them like I think it's like a day or so head start to try and flee and get away, and
Yeah,
then
if
just
you make it off the
completely
island, you
fucking
get the win.
tracks.
You know, still talking about movies, maybe changing the subject a little bit from horror to suspense. Sometimes in movie making, less is more. A good example.
House of Wax. Less is more. Damn it.
House of Wax is a fucking great movie.
I
God
I
damn.
love it, but they could do a little bit less and make it even better.
Well, I was saying a good movie where I'm saying less is more is a movie called Phone Booth. Because it's literally, it has to do with a guy who's trapped in a phone booth in New York City while he's on the phone with a sniper. And the sniper is picking people off, and he's surrounded by cops, the guy in the phone booth, because they think he's the one who's shooting people. And the only way...
That's like a butterfly effect. That's literally like that movie. Like, we see you, and it has to be you, but for some reason it's not you.
It's a good movie, though. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. Because, literally, it's one of the movies where so much stuff could be going on, but really isn't. It's one of those less is more films.
Jason Bourne. Less could have been more.
Yeah, or it's like he can't leave the phone booth or he dies.
Yeah,
I've seen like a clip on TikTok.
it's a good movie. And, you know, when I first seen it, I was like, I don't know. Then I started watching it, I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of got hooked into the story of what was going on in it. It is a good movie. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, you should sit and watch it. It is a good movie. Then, like I said, it's not the high-speed chases and all the stuff you normally see in a suspense action film. It's not anything like that.
It's not G.I. Joe?
No.
Shit.
Or not Transformers, or the horrible story I keep hearing about, the Fast and the Furious Jurassic Park crossover movie they want to do.
They want to do crossover Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it's stupid.
That we have to take down the dinosaurs because family.
Yeah, for family.
I keep telling Kevin, I still feel they're going to do a crossover. I feel it would work way better with Transformers.
But they already have dinosaurs in that universe.
That would be the
Fast
point,
and the
though.
Furious Transformers makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna drift back to fucking House of Wax, because early on that was
like the time period when you get stuff like Cabin in the Woods and whatnot.
yeah, Cabin in the Woods didn't scare me, but like
No.
House of Wax brought a level.
Well, Cabin in the Woods was also more like a horror com.
But like House of Wax was a movie that scared me. But like, do you guys have a movie that you remember scaring you? And I'll go first. I recently watched the new Evil Dead Rise, and there are scenes in that movie as a horror junkie that had my heart thumping. Like to the point where it felt like I had fucking anxiety. I was like, "Oh my god." And it was over. I was like, I haven't felt that since I was like fucking 6 watching a movie. Holy shit.
Jeez.
Do you have a movie that you remember, like you watched and you were like, what the fuck? Oh my god.
Honestly, when I was a kid, the very first Candyman movie traumatized me when I was a kid.
The fucking soundtrack for Candyman, the soundtrack and the story for Candyman are so fucking beautiful. Sorry. Like, it never scared me. It's such a beautiful, haunting
I'm talking
story.
when I was like 5 or
Yeah,
6 years old.
yeah.
I'm talking. Because I remember one night having a dream about the Candyman and waking up screaming when I was a kid. Now I can sit and watch Candyman because I love it now. I think that movie broke me of my fear of horror movies.
So if you're gonna say kid, back when I was a kid, the movie that scared me the most was Child's Play. That movie fucking haunted me.
I fucking laughed at that movie as a
Like,
kid
but the only
for
Child's
some
Play
reason.
when I was a kid, like when I finally got to see it, were like 1 through 3, and that's when Chucky wasn't fucking funny.
No.
Chucky was a goddamn murderer.
Yeah.
Like he was vicious and visceral and fucking harsh. Like it was fucking scary. Like I used to lock my toys in the closet.
But let's face some facts about Child's Play. The only 2 good movies out of that, the original trilogy, were the first 2. Third one kind of sucked.
Remember one of the Chuckies, he fucking took that one chick in the wheelchair and pushed her down the fucking steps.
Yes,
I
or
was
when
like,
he
what
beats
the
the
fuck?
fucking teacher with a ruler. I'm like, oh my god, holy shit.
Well, and he started out by stabbing the chick in the fucking kneecaps. I'm like, wait a minute, she's paralyzed. Like, what the fuck?
She can't feel that.
That's literally like she like looked at him
If
like,
you could name 3, let's
asshole,
name
he fucking
3.
pushes
For
her
me,
down the steps.
number 1 as a kid, fucking Child's Play. Number 2, Children of the Corn. Number 3, modern, Evil Dead Rise. Like, I wanted to watch it again, but I'm like, I don't know if I can fucking handle it. Like, it had my adrenaline pumping at certain points. And like, if I had to say the scariest scene from a horror movie, and I think you witnessed it, it was the Let's Play clap scene
Yes.
in The Conjuring. It made me fucking jump up off the couch. Like, it felt like that whole build-up is super suspenseful. And then it just clapped, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like, it got me so good. Like, memorable scene, that top 3 movies, definitely Child's Play as a kid. When I was like a teenager, like, early teenage years, pre-teenage years, Children of the Corn, like, just that fact of like a cult of kids killing fucking adults living in the corn when I lived in an area where there's lots of fucking corn doesn't help. And then Evil Dead Rise, like fucking 32-year-old me was like, holy fuck, this movie is intense. I've watched B-rate horror movies with no ratings, and like none of them have given me that adrenaline pumping. Like, I've watched the Terrifier series, 1 and 2. They are brutal, they are gory, they are harsh. And even that, like in the first Terrifier movie, there's a scene where he cuts a girl in half with a hacksaw. And they show it all. Like, the slow, like... And I'm like, meh. But for some reason, like, oh man. If we ever decide to do an extreme horror movie night, I'll put on Evil Dead Rise. Like, holy fuck. It was insane. But that's my 3. Kyle, you got 3. Candyman number 1.
Come back to me, I'm thinking.
Lucas, you got some movies that scared you?
I never really watched horror movies, but like as a kid, the TV show, Doctor Who, the library episode, where
Ooh,
they
that's different. That's out there too.
yeah, because it was the Weeping Angels. like the Weeping Angels would kill you, and they were in the astronaut suits, and all of a sudden there was a face, and now there's no face, and like I didn't even watch. Like I caught the tail end of it because my mom was watching it on TV, and I just remember like seeing that and like seeing like a blank empty spacesuit after somebody being in it, and it was just horrified the fuck out of me, and I had nightmares that night,
Jeez.
and I just didn't sleep. I was like, fuck it, I'm not going back to sleep.
Makes sense.
But I don't really watch horror movies. I didn't start watching. It wasn't until like middle school until I like watched all the Friday the 13th, and it was kind of like, this is funny.
Well, man, do I.
Kevin and I, like, I love Friday the 13th, but I never back when Kevin had an apartment. We watched all of them one night, and we were basically movie theater 3000
Yeah.
we were watching.
There's something I would fucking love to do that with you guys too. There's something about watching quirky horror movies. We should live stream it where we watch a quirky horror movie and just fucking give like a live commentary on it. Because there's so many things from the 80s, you're like, that's not how that fucking works. Like, the fact this scared people back then, you're like, wow, people were really fucking dumb, and these are the people who raised us.
Yeah, it's like, why the fuck would you run into the barn full of literal things made to kill people?
Yeah, literally.
Like, I don't remember what Friday the 13th it was, but they run into a barn and there's all these, like, fucking saws and chains and shit.
Oh, that
That's
was...
hanging
two,
around.
isn't it?
No, that was...
Knapsack Jason?
No, that was part 7.
Part 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That was when the...
I fucking, past part 4, I try and numb out the rest of the movies, minus Jason Takes Manhattan.
7 was when the nerdy girl was trying to hook up with the... Well, she thought she was hot, and she was trying to hook up with the fucking stoner dude. And she all dressed up and had the earrings and the high heels on out in the woods for whatever fucking reason.
You're right.
And she's seen Jason, so she runs into the fucking barn thinking, oh, he didn't see me. And he comes in behind her, and she gets down to the ground, and she climbs underneath the dirt and takes her shoes off. And actually does his hands come through with the freaking sickle come through.
Yeah. It's like, these are fucking dumb, but, like,
Well,
It's
They are
entertaining.
dumb. That's why I don't
I mean,
watch
one of the
them.
most classic, and one of my screenplays I was actually writing, I actually have a similar scene in it just for the fucking trope of it.
yeah.
Oh, what was a horrifying sound in the woods? Let's go find out.
Yeah.
And, like, did you notice Michael Myers and Jason and even Chucky don't run? They're like, these fucking dumb motherfuckers are gonna trip at some point.
They just fucking walk. They're like,
Now,
"Alright."
mind you, so I've got the experience, and Lucas, you went to one con with us, but it's something like, you see these characters in a movie, and it doesn't do to scale how fucking large they are.
Yeah.
When I'm not in a nap, you guys see the pictures that roll across the screen. Have you seen the picture with the big bald guy with the goatee that I'm standing with?
Yeah.
That's Bob Elmore. That's Leatherface. He is fucking 6'4".
The thing is, he
Oh my
wasn't
God.
supposed to be Leatherface. He was always supposed to be a
Yeah.
stuntman.
When you think about how big some of these motherfuckers are, so like in comparison, I think I have pictures. So in comparison, Nick Castle is only a little bit taller than me. But James Jude Courtney is fucking huge. When you think about the height of some of these people, short fuckers like me aren't outrunning them because they walk as fast as I run.
Yeah.
So there's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is the remake, the revitalize of the series.
And it's a really good movie.
It's a lot more brutal than the original 79-ish Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But there's a guy in that movie, the guy who plays Leatherface, his name is Andrew Barginski. The day we met Bob Elmore, Andrew was there. But I didn't have the money to get both of their autographs, unfortunately, but Andrew was there. And their tables were side by side. They were sitting side by side, chatting, fucking being friendly with each other. When Andrew stood up, I was maybe eye level with his fucking belly button. He is 6'7".
Oh my god.
So, like, he stood, like, he's at the table, and Bob Elmore's, like, down here in head height, and he's way up here. And he stands up for a picture, and he gets up, and it's like when Godzilla comes up out of the water. He stood up, and I looked at Bria's like, he's fucking huge. Like, his fucking head is where Dolly's head is.
Yeah.
And he's just towering over people, and he's 400 pounds. Like, wide, and not like fat 400 pounds. He's wide, like a fucking linebacker. And he gets up for a picture, and he goes to the fucking, like, person that's about Remy's size, and he goes to put their arm around them and get close for the picture and pull everybody in. And his hand is like the size of their fucking head. Because that's what he does, is he grabs them by the head when he does the picture. And, like, his hands were wrapping around this woman's face. I was like, oh my god. Like, and all these like, oh, I would survive that. And I'm like, no the fuck I wouldn't. He would manhandle the fuck out
No,
of
you're
me.
getting picked up and dropped into the ground.
Like, and when you take that into game pretenses, like, he would just pick me up and be like, come on, you little motherfucker. Like, we don't stand up, you don't stand a fucking chance. Like, he's huge. What are you gonna do against a man who's 6'7", 400 pounds?
outrun him.
Kick him in the kneecaps.
You'd have to drop kick him in the kneecaps.
Yeah, you hope you kick it hard enough to where it goes backwards.
Think about it this way. If he's 6'7", 400 pounds, how big are his fucking arms and he's holding a chainsaw?
Yeah.
He's gonna hit you at the fucking couch. He's just gonna be like, you're dead now. Like, there's a scene, and he talks about it in an interview on a panel. If you find it on YouTube, it's him, R.A., which is another Leatherface, and Bob Elmore. And he talks about a scene where, in his movie, the girl runs away through the wheat field. And he just lets her run. She's full sprinting.
Yeah,
because this is the scene where he has to run after her. And, like, he knows he's big. This girl is only like 5'1", and he just lets her start sprinting because he's like, yeah, when I start running, I'm gonna catch up to her. He's like, well, I caught her and had to film the whole rest of the scene. He's like, I didn't realize how much in shape she was. He's like, my big fat ass was winded by the time I caught up. But mind you, it's a continuous shot, and they ran a football field and a half. He gave her a 75-yard start was the measurement, and he ran her down.
Oh
Jeez.
my god.
Like, you better be fucking fast. Like, one thing, like, okay, Scream, he's like average size, me size, Josh size, Kyle size. Like, okay, anybody who's Scream, like, whatever, that's a fist fight. We'll figure this the fuck out. But when Leatherface comes walking in the room, you're like, I love you. I'm part of the family. please don't fucking grab me.
I got blood for Grandpa.
But even like James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers is always kind of like, I met Don Shanks. He's a short guy too.
But Don Shanks helped us solve a mystery. because we always wondered, why does Michael's jumpsuit look so tight in Halloween 5?
Don Shanks is a 70-plus-year-old bodybuilder.
He used to bench 275 when he was making that movie, but then he decided to cut it back in his older age to 250.
250. He cut back at 60 to 250.
Oh my God.
And when I asked him how many reps, he's like, about 50. Dude, I thought he shook my hand and I almost cried. Like, he doesn't he grabbed my hand. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
My
he
hand
would.
is going to break.
Yeah.
Release.
He
Like-
has huge hands.
And like, I'm standing, it comes up across the screen. I'm standing with him for a picture, and like, he can't put his arms down because he's fucking huge. And then like, they have to make Michael Myers' jumpsuit is always very like tailored to fit. Like, he always kills the right guy's size. Well, when they put him in the Michael costume, they found the right height. But if they went bigger so he didn't look so fucking huge, it looked like he was wearing feety pajamas. Because he's not tall. But he's so goddamn ripped.
Didn't he say he actually ripped a couple of the fucking jumpsuits?
He ripped 7 jumpsuits making that movie, trying to flex his arms. He would rip the backs out of them.
Damn.
He was fucking huge. Like, oh man, and I felt so bad when we met him. No one was at his table.
'Cause
No
nobody
one
knew
gave
who
a
he was.
fuck who he was. Everyone was at Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers, or the new Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney.
I saw this TikTok, and apparently there's a scene in one of the Halloweens, and you can see Michael driving in a car.
Yeah, Halloween 1. He fucking just drives around the street in a car.
Yeah, like, nobody fucking notices. Like, this dude in a mask driving in a car.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Which which was a plot hole for until what, Halloween 6, about how he learned to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, Halloween 6 was a weird movie though. And though I love Paul Rudd as an actor now, his acting in Halloween 6 was bad.
So here's Bob Elmore fucking towering over me and Bree. Like,
Oh my god.
that's Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Obviously, he's in more shape. He's in his fucking 70s now, but, like, he's a big dude and he hunched for that picture. Like, he hunched over to us.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, this guy is fucking huge. So, he's part of this movie. It's not a very good fucking Jason movie. Keep in mind, I'm 5'7". He played Jason in a movie called Voorhees. He is 7'1.5".
Yeah, I'm gonna critique that movie too, since I'm a Friday the 13th fan. The only good acting in that movie that wasn't
Is him.
robotic was him.
Oh.
So here's me with Nick Castle, right? That's the most current Michael Myers. That's Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Look at how fucking built Don Shanks is.
Oh my god.
He is 76 years old. That's Halloween 5 Michael Myers.
Now, I knew that Don Shanks was built because he was in a movie called Smothered, which we have Kane Hodder and a bunch of other people who played horror movie characters. It's kind of like a horror com type movie. And there's a scene where him and this here chick are having sex in it, and you can see him, and you can see he's abs, he's built. But I didn't think he was as built as he was until I met him in person.
So, like, look at this. Like, me and James Jude Courtney, because this is my second time in this picture meeting him, so I immediately go for the fist thing like he does. Look at the size of his fist compared to mine.
Oh my god.
Imagine him grabbing you. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? His fist is like my fucking head. And then you come back, where the fuck is the picture? Like, here's Bree, 5'1" Bree, standing with the original Michael Myers. That's Nick Castle. Like, he's not a very big dude at all. Like, Halloween 1 Michael Myers, yeah, I stood a chance. Stack me up against Don Shanks or fucking James Jude Courtney, I'm fucked. I'm dead.
Or Tyler Mane.
Yeah, so Tyler Mane is the biggest Michael Myers, because he's 6'8".
Something like that, yeah.
He's fucking gigantic. He's like, when you see Tyler Mane in the Halloween movies, if you watch Rob Zombies, like, you look at him, you're like, why the fuck is Michael Myers the size of Bigfoot?
I'd say
what-
the opening scene when he was in the
Like,
asylum,
so
he
you,
was
oh god, what the guy? What the hell is the guy's name from
16 or
Machete?
some shit?
Oh, Danny Trejo.
That's fucking Tyler Mane is the guy with the long hair standing next to Danny Trejo, who is a big dude. Tyler Mane is fucking huge.
Like that whole scene was like him still as like a young adult teenager kind of.
Oh god,
Like he
is it-
wasn't supposed to be that old in that opening.
Is it Keenan Michael Key? Is that fucking Jordan Peele's old fucking...
Yeah.
Here's Tyler Mane standing next to Keaton Michael Key, who we all know is fucking tall. And Tyler's just like, sup fucking little people. Man, there's fucking, like, I always found that trope funny. Like, you watch a horror movie and you're like, I would survive. And then you meet the fucking people who played the
Well,
guys
the
in the movie in
example
real
is
life
to-
and you're like, no, he would fucking wreck me.
Same thing though, you think about Kane Hodder when he played Jason. Jason looks like he's wide and built, but not tall, and then you meet Kane in person and you realize, oh,
Yeah, Kane is tall, but
And
he's
you're-
not wide built. They do a lot, like, he's broad shouldered, but like
But back
then, yeah, when he was more in shape.
When he was playing Jason, he was a bodybuilder. He did bodybuilding.
Yeah, fucking, like, that's something, if you guys out there watch horror movies, and you really fucking, like, you pull that, oh, I think I would survive trope,
No.
I either beg you to go to a con and meet these people for once, and it's cheap to go to a con, it's like $30, you don't have to buy autographs or anything, it's a cool experience, but to actually meet the people who play some of the fucking, like, cast is absolutely batshit crazy. Like, so when I met, right before my last picture I showed you guys with me and James Jude Courtney doing the fist thing, the new Leatherface walked out. Remy's never seen Mason. You've seen Mason. Mason's eyes were level with his tits. He comes walking out. Fucking door flies open. Security standing there. And this big motherfucker in a leopard print set of pants comes walking out. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's the dude who played the new Leatherface. Because I've seen him without his makeup. And I'm like, he would fucking destroy me.
Someone else who's a lot taller than you. And he's tall, but he's a lot taller than you think he is. Tony Todd.
Yeah. If you've ever seen the Candyman, we got to see him walk away from his table when we were meeting. Was it Nick Castle? Nick Castle.
No.
Or it was one of the Nick Castle or James Jude Courtney.
It was James Jude Courtney.
But Tony Todd, so that was his first con back. Tony Todd had just got done fighting like severe cancer, so he doesn't look quite like himself, but he fucking stood up. And, like, his security staff are, like, at his hip. And they're all dudes, like, built like Lucas, walking him to the stage. And I'm like, he's fucking huge.
What killed me, though, when we were at that con, all the people were like, oh, they're big horror movie fans. And I was listening to people who've seen that.
Everyone was there to meet the fucking people from fucking the Karate Kid series. That's all they were there to meet.
Well, not that. Well, that isn't what I'm talking about. Pretty sure you were at the stand next to me and people were talking about, and I seen that the Return of the Living, or not the Return, the Night of the Living Dead and all that was on his.
Yeah.
Well, what was he? He played Ben. How can you call yourself a horror movie person and not know that?
But everybody at that con, they went to meet the girl who played Wednesday, who was late because she was pregnant, and they went to meet the cast of the fucking Karate Kid movie and dudes from Sons of Anarchy. Like, the next longest line was James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle, and it wasn't even half the length. Most of those other people's lines went out the fucking front door.
Damn.
Majority of the people were there to meet Peyton Lista because she's hot. Okay, let's just face facts.
Pretty much.
I was wanted to be one of them people, but I didn't have the money.
And then here's me fucking, like, I go to get in line for Don Shanks, there's nobody.
I felt bad.
I had like a 5-minute conversation. It was super cool. I felt so bad. That's why I have his mask up there signed. I went back and I'm like, look, because like
Didn't
that
you
was
sign that for free when you went back?
yeah. I went back and he signed it for free because I originally had gotten this one signed. That was the scene because that was the first Halloween movie I'd ever
Wasn't
seen.
Dick Warlock's supposed to be at that one.
Supposed to be, but he got sick. But that was the first Halloween movie I've ever seen, and that was the scene that stuck out to me, which is funny because it's brightly lit. But that scene of him standing with the scythe, which was like one of the weirdest kills Michael's ever got, and like he was so wholesome with me and so friendly, and like
Well, he did kill that guy with the garden tool too in that movie.
But I had gotten up during the panel before I bought the mask to go back and get it autographed, and I asked a question, and I was like. My question was, how did everyone interpret the movement of Michael Myers? Because they had the first Michael Myers, the middle Michael Myers, and the current Michael Myers there, which was neat to see. And then they had, Tate. He was Jason in Jason for Freddy vs. Jason, and he was the stunt actor for James Jude Courtney.
But Tate also played the stunt person for Friday the 13th, Jason...
Yeah, so Tate has always kind of been in the horror scene, and fucking Don Shanks immediately answered me first, no hesitation. He's like, well, a stick through water. And when you think about how Michael Myers walks, it's exactly that. And everyone else like went in and they're like, oh yeah, I kind of based it off what Nick Castle did, and that was like the general answer. And then there was Don Shanks, he's like, a stick through water, that's what I did. And then what did he say? He was like, because that's what I felt like in the suit.
Yep.
He couldn't move. He's like, they gave me the suit and I just didn't fit. And it was so wholesome. I was like...
But they tried tailoring the suit. That's the thing. They tried tailoring the jumpsuits for him, but they could only tailor it so much.
But yeah. So I went and I bought a mask and I went back to have him sign it and I had my money out. And he stood up from his table. And he stood up and I was like, again, thank you very much for like getting me into horror. And I was just being honest and upfront with him, and I went to hand him the money, and he folded it in half, and he pushed it back to me, and he goes, thanks for respecting me. And he signed the map, and he's like, "Do you want another picture?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I already got a picture." He's like, "Okay." And he fucking shook my hand.
Well, we did stand there and talk to him for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta have 30-minute conversation with him. It's a fucking, I will never, because I was like, he's like, what did I say? I was like, yeah, I think I could get away. He's like, yeah, until I rip your arm off and beat you with it. I was like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, because you said too, we were just discussing what you would do if I came up and just poked you in the chest. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'd rip your arm off and beat you with
Yeah,
it.
I was like, if you were Michael Myers right now and I just came up poking you in the chest, what'd you do? He's like, I'd rip your arm off and beat you with it. I was like, oh my god. But it was so fucking cool. And next Creature Feature weekend, we're taking Remy with too. We got to. So Remy, we're gonna get on to you because we went on a tangent. Movies that scared you.
As a kid, I didn't watch a lot of horror movies. I've seen some. But I haven't
It
watched
doesn't even
a
have
lot.
to be as a kid. I just rated it that
No,
way because of
but
Kyle's
the
topic.
only
But
one
if you
I
got
watched-
something, hell yeah.
The only one I watched that scared me was as a kid. Because I've seen, like, Saw, I've seen Scream, I've seen those. But the only one that scared me was as a kid. I watched this movie called Forget Me Not. I don't even remember any of the plot of the movie. I don't remember anything.
Why
of
does
the
that
movie.
sound so fucking familiar?
It's it's like a 2000s movie.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
But the only thing that, like, scared me about the movie was that they put this dude's hand through a wood chipper.
Oh my. No. Fucking, they do that in Evil Dead Rise and it fucking.
That
God.
gave me nightmares for a very long time. Just that part of the movie. Like, that freaked me out. So...
I think about wood chippers, and the only thing I can fucking think of is that bit.
That's
where-
fucking. Any
So
type
that's
of,
it.
like, full body gore like that, I'm like, oh, fuck
But it's
me.
like-
Like, I broke my hand. That seems awful.
But I watched that at, like, a friend sleepover thing, and it's like, why am I watching that at, like, 9 years old with a friend at a sleepover? Like, who
What
let you
the
put that
fuck?
on? Why are we watching that? I was in elementary school. Why are we watching that?
But, see, like, for me, I always had that interest. Like, I watched through the stuff. Like, why can't I watch these movies? What were they about? And, like, it always infatuated me until I got to Chucky. That was the end-all, be-all. Like, that movie fucking traumatized the shit out of me for years. My family, to this day, if you're like, tell me a story about Kevin that's funny, they would tell you the story about this fucking Godzilla walking animatronic doll toy they got me that scared the fuck out of me literally the day after I had seen Child's Play. Because it walked and its eyes glowed red and it blew, and it scared the fuck out of me. It scared me so much, my dad had to give it to someone else and take it out of the house because I would not sleep.
I
Like,
had similar experiences.
anything lately?
No.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put Evil Dead Rise on your list.
A lot doesn't scare me like that anymore. That I think.
See, for me, like, now, when I say scary, like, the adrenaline pump thing for me, it'd be like, yeah, that, if it got my heart pumping, then yeah, that was definitely a fucking suspenseful, scary moment. Josh, are you afraid of anything?
I'm going with you guys, like, as a kid. Because, like, obviously now, yeah, I'm looking for suspenseful stuff.
Right.
You need to watch Evil Dead Rise with me, too.
I'm more of
But,
a
like, as a
suspense
kid,
person
like,
now.
I'm there with you with, like, Children of the Corn.
Dude,
I
that
fucking,
shit's
when I watched
scary.
that shit, I was like, what in the actual fuck?
Like, the
And then
kids
I'm
are
pretty sure I-
vicious!
But I watched it at fucking, like, midnight.
And
For
it's
no goddamn
same,
fucking
same,
reason.
on AMC! Fear
For
Friday!
no
Fear
fucking
Fest!
reason. I'm sitting here
Fuck
like,
you, AMC!
This
Another
is a
movie
great
that's just
idea.
like that too, in a John Carpenter film, is The Village of the Damned. All the fucking albino kids with their red glowing eyes.
Oh, yes, fuck, oh my god. Oh, I haven't watched that movie in so long. Oh, fuck.
And the worst part is where I had lived. So in like my trailer, there was the front of it was nothing but glass windows, like straight standing glass windows. Like if you were to run, you could fucking run right out the window itself, like it was a door. All 5 of them. I fucking remember them because I broke one of them or 2 of them. But I looked out one of the fucking windows in the morning after watching that movie, and I'm like, why the fuck does it look like there's fucking kids coming out of a cornfield? No, we're staying inside today. Done. No more.
Dude, that and the thing is, the Children of the Corn isn't gory or anything,
No.
No, it's just a cult of fucking children. You're just
and
sitting
it's
like,
fucking
what
And
the
there's
hell?
a demon that lives in the ground in the cornfield.
Yeah, that never is seen ever.
but it's just the way it was directed and written for it was what made it so fucking good.
You know what's the worst part about this Children of the Corn thing for me? Is
I did not like the sequel though.
No,
Isn't it based off a Stephen King book?
Yes.
yeah. The thing is, the movie before that I watched on the Steps was the original Jeepers Creepers, and that didn't bother me at all.
No, I was fine with Jeepers Creepers. Although,
And like,
Also,
I love Jeepers Creepers so much. If you go look in the back of my car, you'll see a beating you plate, and most people think it's like a car thing. No, that's a Jeepers Creepers reference. That's the
Even though
license plate on
actually the way it should be read is "be eating you."
It is. That's how my plate. I have the movie
Yeah, I
replica
know.
plate.
I know.
Yeah. And I was like, everyone's like, oh, that's a funny racing reference. I'm like, it's not a racing reference. It's a fucking horror movie reference. Get the fuck out of here.
another one for me would have been Silent Hill as a fucking kid.
Oh, I love that.
For
Oh.
like, I loved watching it, but then like after watching it, I'm
The
just
only
sitting
scene
here
that,
like, I'm
the only scene
never
that got
going
me was
into
the
a
scene with the
fucking
nurses.
yeah. I'm
It
not
wasn't
going into
the
a
woman
fucking
getting ripped
hotel or
apart by the
anything.
fucking.
No, it was the scene with the nurses. Like that fucking creaky movement gets me in haunted houses too. You know that. Like, it's
Same
something
thing-
about that. Like,
Same thing happened when we played fucking Layers of Fear too.
yeah, the only part of Layers of Fear that scared the shit out of me was the scenes with the like creaky fucking. Oh, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much.
And The Hills Have Eyes, I just did not fucking like it. I did
no.
not.
Okay, if I had to add a 4, The Hills Have Eyes scared the fuck out of me. The
It-
original
it
Hills
was-
Have Eyes
yeah,
and the
it was
like color
fucking-
version.
It was
Oh,
I
fucking
like.
hell.
creepy.
I like the original Hills Have Eyes. I didn't like the remake.
I didn't care for the remake, but it was just fucking creepy. And the fact that it was
Oh
mostly
shit!
Don't step on
mostly
the
the movies are like based on like true stories.
Don't kill your dog.
So like The Hills Have Eyes was supposed to be based off of a true story, and that like already fucking creeped me out trying to fucking watch it. I'm just like, yeah. So you got like a cult of people, and they're just like taking people and just eating them
Yeah.
and killing
Well, that
them
was
for no
kind
reason.
of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. You know what movie fucking so random horror movie fact. Do you know so the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Lucas, you played the game, so you've heard the like picture snap that noise.
Yeah.
Do you know what actually how they made that noise?
No.
They took an original photo camera from back in the day that you have to replace the bulb. That is the snap sound of the bulb slowed down 50%. That's what makes that fucking
See,
noise.
I always thought it was almost like a rusty hinge.
No, it's a fucking flash of a camera.
Was there a favorite ghost movie you had?
Ghost movie? Does it have to be scary?
I don't think I've seen
I
a
mean,
ghost movie.
going with the horror flick, it would be more preferred. But if there's a comedy one that stuck out more for you, because there was definitely a lot of comedy ones.
Mhm.
Fuck Paranormal Activity. If you like
Yeah,
that
that
movie,
movie's
something wrong
gar.
with
I
you.
think me and Kyle went to see the first one in theaters. It was bad.
I fucking watched it and I
I'll be
straight
honest, though.
laughed at it.
I don't think I've seen it, but I've seen
And I don't know
clips, and I'm just-
why.
I think it's
That
stupid.
movie did scare me a little bit. Not the movie itself, the concept of the possession.
Mhm.
Possession scares the fuck out of me.
And I think that's one of the reasons I don't like The Exorcist.
That's actually why I actually enjoyed watching The Conjuring.
I haven't seen
But
it.
you see, I like The Conjuring though.
I like the first Conjuring movie, but the collapse scene still gets to me. All these years
Amityville
later.
Horror.
Oh, I love the
Oh,
Amityville.
That-
the
that
Amityville
was
horror is
fucking
a fu- Oh
and
my god.
even some the remakes for some of them were also still pretty fucking good.
I like the original and I like the remake they did of Ryan Reynolds. The
Have you
sequels-
two
the
ever seen the Amityville horror
2000 I think it's 2008 to 2007, one of those two.
Yeah, I think it was like in that time period.
Most things you're gonna say, have you seen this? I'm gonna say no.
So
I actually enjoyed watching, even though it has a shit rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's called The Traveler.
think I've seen that.
It's this guy that
I've
goes
always
back to a
told
police
Bree one
station
year I'm gonna dress up like the main
to
character guy for
torture,
Halloween because I
the
can
cops
so
that had
do
tortured
it.
him.
Dude, that looks like my.
because they had accused him of a crime that he didn't commit.
Sounds familiar. I think I might have seen
Honestly?
that.
But like, what really makes that movie is the whistling part that he does to him.
I think the next time we have a movie night, we're gonna do that. We're gonna watch the Amityville Horror, the fucking color version, the one with the guy that kind of looks like me. I want to watch that one. That's
That's the Ryan Reynolds one that he's talking about.
no pre Ryan Reynolds,
You're talking about the original.
the original.
Yeah.
It's a suspense horror, but it honestly is a movie that as a kid scared the shit out of me. But there's not a lot
It
of
was so
like,
fucking good though.
yeah, it's so good. It has such a good story.
I mean, it's based on actual events.
Never fucking
Yeah.
watched The Ring.
I have watched The Ring and the Japanese Ring. The Garuku, or the Japanese Ring, is
Yeah.
way better. It scared the
It's
fuck
scary
out
as
of me.
fuck.
Okay.
It's scary as
Now that we're
fuck.
talking about Ring, let's bring up this subject.
Oh god.
Let's all name movies that had an unnecessary amount of sequels.
Grudge.
Saw,
Grudge.
Scream.
Remy's with me. Let's go.
Why
Saw.
do they need like 9 movies?
10. 10 now.
Yeah,
10.
there's
It's
10.
10 now.
10,
It's 10 now. As of this
and a
week,
TV
it's 10.
series. And a TV series.
Yeah.
I feel like
Speaking
we've
of which,
talked about
Halloween's
it.
getting a TV series.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just
the
bought out.
Halloween Cinematic Universe, which I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was literally-
It's based off a movie I wanted to watch tonight, but someone voted for Willy's Wonderland, and I must oblige because I own it.
Yay.
It's based off Halloween Season of the Witch, which has nothing to do
I'm gonna
with
stop you.
Michael Myers.
Because I was reading an article today about it, and they said they're going to work Michael Myers into the series.
That's fine. That's fine. You want to bring Michael Myers into the Season of the Witch universe? It's 100% possible. Let's do it. But Halloween Season of the Witch? So, alright, back to random horror fact. Halloween was never supposed to be what it is.
No.
Halloween was written by John Carpenter to be an anthology series. It was supposed to be Halloween, which was originally named The Babysitter Murders, but changed to Halloween. So it's supposed to be Halloween.
Then it was
Halloween
supposed to be-
2 was supposed to be Season of the Witch, so a totally different story. There were supposed to be 5 movies, each movie telling a different
Yeah, the
story.
third one was actually supposed to be more like the Poltergeist.
Was supposed to be the Poltergeist. The 4th movie was supposed to be John Carpenter's The Fog, but it was going to be called Halloween the Fog. So basically, it was supposed to be a whole series, but Michael Myers blew up and everyone wanted more. That's why if you watch Halloween 2, the first 30 minutes are Halloween 1. It's literally a recall back to the movie because John Carpenter had nothing. Like, they were so done. They fucking scrapped everything. The mask was at the co-producer's house
Yeah, Deborah Hills.
in a box. And the person who played Halloween in that movie hated the mask because Deborah smoked a lot. And that's why it has a yellow
That
and
was,
the paint is fading.
Dick Warlock who
It
played.
was Dick Warlock.
Because he
Yep.
played Michael in the second movie, and he played the main bad guy in the third one.
Yep. And he hated the mask because so much of Deborah's... And they only had one mask, and they had stopped making the Kirk mask that they used to make Michael Myers' mask. So they had to use the first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was never meant to fucking be that way, but Halloween Season of the Witch, 1, is creepy, 2, has a super cool Irish-related story, has to do with Stonehenge and actual Celtic mythology.
The Druids.
Yep. And, over top of all, it has the record for killing... I can't even say it. Halloween 3 has a record for killing the most kids because of the story's plot.
Oh my god.
I fucking can't. You don't see them all die, but they give you the general concept of it, and it's dark. And here's the people trash it because they're like, oh, it's Halloween, but it doesn't have Michael Myers. And John Carpenter's like, it's fucking not supposed
The
to.
thing is, he didn't direct the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure he didn't. I'll look.
He had a big part to do with it. It was his script. But yeah,
Speaking of movies that also probably don't need to have a fucking sequel, Insidious.
Fucking record.
Oh, yeah.
Record.
Yeah.
Fuck that series.
REC.
There's another VHS movie coming out this year too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's either coming out this year or the beginning of next year.
no. I mean, the first couple are okay.
I mean, The Ring really didn't need 3 fucking movies.
There's 3?
No. Poltergeist.
Yeah,
Poltergeist
Poltergeist.
didn't need sequels.
I think
No.
they're making a sequel to It Follows also.
The Exorcist didn't need sequels or a reboot, Blumhouse. By the way,
I would say like the
by the
first
way,
couple.
the
That's
same
just
team
fine.
who did the Halloween series, they're doing a 3-movie series for the fucking Exorcist. I'm like, great. So are they gonna take the demon and throw that in the wood chipper too?
Halloween 3 was written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace.
Did John Carpenter only do the fucking soundtrack for that?
Doesn't-
I fucking love Halloween 3. I love it because it's so out of mold, and also, it's fucking weird. It's colorful. Like, god damn it. And the thing is I've never got to meet anybody from Halloween 3, so I have nothing for it. It makes me super sad. And one of the people died.
Aw.
And I'm like, fuck me. But I'm not, so a lot of people chase autographs because, like, so My Killer Clowns here has Grant and Susan from the movie. A lot of people would have taken this when I went to meet the Chiodo brothers and had them autograph that, but for me, it's an individual experience. So when I got to meet Grant and Susan, this is an original movie copy, so this would have been like, this is what was hanging up in fucking, like, Blockbuster in your local movie store. So I got to meet them two there, they got the sign. That's it. And the fucking awesome thing about this is Grant never, ever likes to add quotes to his sign-up. But I got to talk to him for like 20 minutes. Like, I was like real into it, and I was like, yeah! I showed him the pictures of my cotton candy cocoon, and he's
I
like,
know they all liked your
yeah, I had my
because none
Clownzilla
of them
shirt
have
on.
ever seen a Clownzilla shirt before.
Oh wow.
And like he went to sign, he's like, I never do this. He's like, but I'm gonna give you a quote. So my quote is from when they're in the car. He just went up. That was his quote. And then Susan seen that, and she's like, Grant signed a quote? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, now I gotta give you a quote too. So she gave me a quote that was something she's never written before. And they're both made out to me. So though the value of the quotes is fucking huge, they're directly made out to me, and they're the only autographs in this house that are made out to me. Because every time I get anything signed, for me, it's they're for the family. They're for everybody to enjoy.
Right.
And like, that was the one where I didn't want to dedicate it, and Bree's like, you have to do this for you. You're here for you. She's like, and the Chiodo brothers signed that whole statue over there for Killer Clowns that's on top of the Funko Pop.
Oh, yeah.
None of those are directly made out to me. But I had this done. So the Chiodo brothers are on there, Rudy is on there, and fuck, I forget the other clown that I met, because Lucas was there, and I forget the other clown I met because I had fucking a tooth infection. Do you remember the second clown I met? I met Rudy and
I thought you meant Shorty.
Was that Shorty?
Or Shorty.
Shorty. Yeah.
He played Shorty. They all played a bunch of.
They both played a bunch.
They both played a bunch of the characters, but the main ones that they were known for were Rudy and Shorty.
And your Halloween poster is the one I found free at the con.
Yeah.
And I think it was the only one they had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is an original fucking full size, like, when you go to a movie theater, this would have been what was outside, and the guy's like, oh, I don't get a lot of them.
Well, it's an original print that was never used.
Yeah, so this was one that never made it to theaters, and, like, people would have gotten, I could have had this full with all the people from Halloween. I've met I've got to see Sheriff Brackett and all that stuff, but, like, for me, the only person who needs to sign this is the man whose hand that is, and that was Nick Castle, so that's all that's on there. I will never take this one anywhere else to be signed. The only reason I keep it is because Nick Castle's or fucking James U. Courtney's signature is fucking awesome. Like, I have 2 of them. And that's the only reason why I keep it. And there is only 400 of these in existence because they changed the movie poster before it went out to theaters. And you had to be in line. Each show he did, so they did a bunch of cons for the year. Each show they did, they only let you have 50. I have one, and Mason has one. We were the last 2 people to get one at that show.
Oh wow.
Well,
So
is that
that's
for
the only,
Ed?
and it's 2-sided. If I flip it over, there's no signature on the other side.
Is that
Yeah.
what, Friends?
Yeah.
This is ends. This is Halloween ends.
I can't see it from here that well.
This is Halloween Ends. This is regular Halloween. That's Halloween 5. Danielle Harris is Halloween. That's her Halloween 6?
No. She
That's
wasn't in- She wasn't in 6. 4 and 5.
5. That's
No,
4.
4.
That's
4.
4. That's 4. Cause no, that's 5. She's wearing a clown
Not
costume.
4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4.
So I think she had the clown costume in 5 too.
No. It was only for the Halloween party, which was in Halloween 4.
Yeah, because she had the princess outfit. in
She
five.
had, yeah.
Well, the Halloween party was in 5, and that was at the farmhouse.
This one has no autograph and needs to move somewhere at some point, but I love it because it's all like the 80s horror movie villains. You have Ash, you have Cujo.
Well,
you
that's
have
Does
the-
it? No. It does not need to move. Fuck
Well, that's the
yourself.
one that Bree and I came across. Whose tail were we at?
You guys
No,
went to
that
get it
was-
for me while I was waiting in line.
That was me. I seen that and went, "Oh, that's cool," and I
Yeah,
went,
but I
"Oh
was-
shit,
I was
that's
there.
like all the
I was-
characters."
I was there with you when you.
Yeah, you
No.
were there. I forget what one. That
I was waiting in line for something. So before we round this podcast out, is there anything you guys would like to see in horror movies that you don't see a lot of? For you two, it's hard. This is a hard.
I've seen all the scary movies. So
Oh
more,
my god, I
more
have one
parody
for you.
movies.
The fuck it.
More parody movies
What the
that are scary.
fuck is it? Oh my god, the one me and you watched so many times where they make fun of Pinhead. Pinhead has like fucking darts in his head. It has the dude from fucking Good Burger in it. Me and you watched it too, Kyle.
Is it is it Scary Movie?
No, it's not a scary movie one.
No, it's the spoof.
Also, have you watched Tom, what is it, fucking Dale and Tucker versus Evil?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's funny.
When you were talking about the wood chipper before, I remember the kid running wanted to go in head first and the wood chipper.
Yeah.
And Tucker was like, "These crazy kids are just out here committing suicide."
Stan Helsing.
Yup,
Fucking
Stan
watch.
Helsing.
If you love the scary movies, watch Stan Helsing. It's
Okay.
fucking
Fucking
hilarious.
Yeah, I like the parody, funny
I would
horror
agree. Like
movies.
there is more parody movies.
Okay, so let me lay the pretenses out because you two are both gonna want to watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
Tucker and Dale are these two like backwoods rednecks. They bought this cabin in the woods, fucking like goofy,
Yeah,
like
they're supposed to be
Goofy,
their
dumb as
retirement.
fuck.
Their retirement home.
yeah, it's their retirement home, and they're gonna fix it up, and it's their hunting cabin. Well, these kids come out in the woods, and there's this urban legend of some killer, and all of
The
these.
hillbilly massacre.
The Hillbilly Massacre. And all of these kids die by these such fucking stupid coincidental accidents, but they blame it on Tucker and Dale, who are just trying to repair this cabin. And it's fucking great because it spirals so deep that they think they kidnapped their one friend even though they saved her from fucking dying. It's great because it's rightfully gory, but in a way where you're like, how the fuck did you do that to yourself? Because
Yeah.
no one is killing them but them fucking selves.
Yeah, literally, like the guy in the wood chipper. He came up running behind Tucker trying to stab him with something.
He tried to
Tucker just
he
bent,
bent over to pick like something up, and he dove in head first into the fucking wood
Tucker's
chipper.
there. You're like, hold on, I'll save you.
Yeah, Tucker's trying to save him, and all the kids show up, and of course it looks like Tucker's feeding him into the fucking wood chipper. There's a scene where one of the kids runs up to kill one of them, and he runs into like this sharp-pointed stick and
Yeah,
stabs
with a
himself.
tree was down, he impaled himself on.
It's fucking great. There are fucking tons of parody horror movies.
Yeah,
Those
like
sound
Shaun
good.
of the Dead.
That's another good movie.
I fucking
Have you
love
watched
Shaun of
Shriek?
the Dead.
Shriek's a fucking parody movie.
Maybe.
Freaky's a parody movie. Student Bodies is also a parody movie. I watched that
Paranormal
one too.
Activity.
I don't know why Slumber Party Massacre is on this list.
Haunted House 1 and 2.
Haunted
Yeah.
House 1 and 2. Yep. Yeah, because the Haunted House movies are basically the fucking cast from fucking Scary Movie.
Essentially.
Yeah, parodying fucking, they only parody, what the fuck?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity.
I think I've seen those.
Those are fucking great.
Because my parents.
But wasn't
used to
there a
watch the
scene
Paranormal
in the
Activity, so they
first
watched
one
the
where,
Paranormal
where
Transylvania 6000 or 5000. That's a fucking spoof movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh god, we were just talking about we were just talking about one where they fucking all the kids fucking pull like fucking fast ones on all the classic Universal horror villains.
Oh yeah, that was fuck now I'm
We
drawing.
just talked about it yesterday too.
Oh no.
Yeah, we did talk about it. But fuck, now I'm drawing a blank. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome. You can draw a blank with me. Oh fuck, I can't think of what it is.
Well, while you're thinking, imagine if they brought some more like mythological beings into horror movies.
Well, there is
Especially like
a Lovecraftian movie called Dagon, which is a very interesting movie.
More robots.
I'd love
Robots
to
are
see like a parody Bigfoot movie.
That would be fucking
A
hilarious.
horror movie.
Banana Splits is a parody horror movie.
there's a Wendigo
Well,
movie. Imagine
I don't
they
know
do
if I'd call it
spoof for that.
It's a parody.
It is, yeah, I guess, because Banana was what used to be was a real show made by Hanna-Barbera back in what, the 60s.
But that's what
Yeah.
they're parodying.
Yeah.
They're fucking like
I watched
There's a
that
parody
show.
movie for Supernatural.
Really?
I don't fucking know what it's called though.
There's parodies for
Oh,
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad is a parody on. It's basically a bunch of teenage kids who pull fast ones on Dracula, the Swamp Man, fucking Frankenstein.
Oh,
There-
because Frankenstein was in the backyard.
Yeah, and in one of the scenes, the kid fucking steals Dracula's fucking amulet. And he's like, give that back to me. And he's like, finders, keepers, losers. And he's like, oh, you brats. I'm going to kill you as soon as the sun's not out. It's fucking great.
It's great. I forgot that was a spoof.
It's basically a
Sounds
spoof. It's fucking teenage kids pulling fast ones on all the... But, like, it's not an officially licensed movie, so, like, Dracula has a different name.
Oh,
The creature
okay.
from the Black Lagoon's name is Gilman. It's fucking
That
great.
sounds good though.
It's
yeah.
funny. It's an 80s movie, but
Yeah.
it's super campy and funny. That's a
I'd
fun
say it's a
movie to
very
watch.
campy movie. But
Yeah,
it's
stuff
a
like
movie.
that I really like.
Chucky became a parody of itself
Literally.
after Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
No,
I
think
haven't seen any of the Chucky movies. They don't really interest me.
the Child's
Um,
Play movies became parodies of themselves after the.
Okay,
After the third
correct.
movie.
Child's Play 1 through 3 are fucking decently scary movies. As soon as they change the name to Chucky, they're all just parodies. They are a doll that has nothing but jokes.
I think one of the best things. Is it the fourth one? When they're in the fucking Hummer and they drive fucking Britney Spears off the road and the fucking.
Yep, yep.
And the fucking photographer's going, God bless the little people.
Yeah, yeah, it's Tiffany. Isn't it Tiffany? She runs over and she's like, God bless the little people. Fucking goddamn.
I did enjoy the scary movies.
Scary movies were funny.
I
I've
didn't
only ever
understand
seen
any
the
of the
original- the
references,
first
but I
three.
liked them.
I
I
don't
mean-
think they put Michael Jackson as like an alien.
Yep.
I like.
Or what? Was it Shorty gets fucking rolled up by his own plant?
Yeah, he gets rolled by his plant and fucking smoked.
And he was getting a contact eye what was going on.
Yep.
All the references though, like you would have to watch the Scream movies, and then you'd be sitting there like, you know what? That fucking makes sense
Well, yeah, the
now.
first
I
one was
watched.
the first one was based off a Scream. The second one was based on a haunting. The third one was based. What was the hell was the third one based off of? Signs.
Yeah, because the third one had Shorty in it. The third one was when Shorty was getting.
No, the third.
He got smoked.
That was the second one.
Was it the second? I thought it was the third one.
I watched one of the Scream movies because that's what my parents allowed. They're like, you can watch one of them, and it was not the first one.
Scream can be very hard to follow if you don't watch them in order.
I watched 4.
My honest opinion when it comes to Scream, they could have stopped at
Rebel.
They could have stopped after the second movie.
I want to watch them in order because I actually enjoyed it, but I was also like 13.
Another movie series that they could have stopped after the first movie I know what you did last summer.
I was gonna say that. Yes.
I watched the first one.
I liked the first one. It did not need a sequel.
I think I watched the first one
There's
because
like
of Scary Movie.
3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for no fucking reason too. Like I know what you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer, and then whatever the fucking
I
the
don't know
third
what the
one
third one's
is.
called, but there is 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing like Jeepers Creepers. Like, I like Jeepers Creepers, but the third one kind of sucked.
I'll give you that. It was lackluster.
By the way, I just want you to know, I suffered through Jeepers Creepers Reborn, so none of you have to. Don't do it.
I never watched it. I don't even know
Oh, I
what's it
forgot
about.
they made another one.
Jeepers Creepers, the Jeepers Creepers first and second movie are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one was bad.
Jeepers Creepers is like it on fucking steroids.
I think it's just how they ended 3.
And then I want something else that you and I talked about yesterday that I want to bring up. Everybody who has this weird misconception
Number
that
1
thinks
and number 3 are winners for me.
that people think that Jason Voorhees can only kill people on Friday the 13th.
No.
Yeah. It's a fucking goofy concept. That's
There
the
are
pair.
so many people who believe that for some reason.
We're gonna need to. I hope they have more of these for the Halloween.
I mean,
party.
literally,
I
the
don't know,
only
'cause there's
reason
the
the
throwback
movie is
flavors. I
called
think they're
Friday the
discontinued
13th
flavors.
is because his mom
Okay, I'll have to grab
Killed
a case for me
all the-
and you next week.
all the counselors but one on Friday the 13th, which was Jason's birthday. But he himself killed people whenever he felt like it. It had nothing to do with his birthday.
The only fucking killer that I know that has killers that have specific days are fucking. It lies dormant for a certain amount of time. Jeepers
27.
Creepers lies dormant for 28 years, and
27.
Michael Myers only
Yeah.
kills people on Halloween.
And
It and Jeepers are the same year. 27.
yeah, remember because there was a weird conspiracy where they said
They were
Jeepers
the
in
yeah.
the same universe. And they were just the same. Because
That's right. It's every 27 years Jeepers Creepers
Because
can hunt.
supposedly, I don't know where this came from, but someone said, who was in part of the creation of Jeepers, that the Creeper is not a demon.
Mhm.
Not.
Just a monster.
Yeah.
That lives in the sewers.
But no one ever explained in any of the movies where he actually came from.
It's not explained anyway. Actually, it is
Well,
explained.
I would say I'm pretty sure like the whole song is supposed to explain it.
Nerd me's about the show. Give me a second.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean about to?
Big nerd me's about the show.
I actually did enjoy the.
Here's
all
the
of
rest of the
Candyman's-
explanation on the Chainsaw Massacre. Here's the Puppet Master series. Here's the Puppet Master series. This explains where Jeepers Creepers came from.
There's comic books.
Yes, there
Yeah.
is.
I didn't know there was comic books.
Yep.
There's probably books for all of them.
Yep.
All the classics.
Oh, I mean, there's a shit ton of novels and graphic novels for Friday the 13th. And Halloween,
I would
actually.
rather read the books, to be honest, than watch movies. Just
So if
because.
you're-
Well, the
See-
thing is, you have to watch the movies to correlate with the books because the books have nothing or
Yep.
things that take place in between the movies.
Did you see that Constantine was getting another movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to do another Constantine.
Well, the whole thing is like it's based on the comics, but they just stopped after the first one.
Cool.
Yeah, because Constantine was a cult classic.
Interesting.
Also, super nerdy me. These are first pressings.
And never will be opened.
I've read them all already.
Oh, have you?
I've resealed them. Yep. I've read them all already. But this one, and this one explain the universe of the Creeper.
Oh.
Two different series, but they interlink. But yeah. Nerd me when I get a chance. I will. I do indulge in comics, but not superhero stuff. I really prefer the horror stuff.
You only really real.
Like this one. These are super important when you jump from Axis of Evil to the next movie.
I love the Puppet Master movies.
They're awesome. The first movie, they're definitely fucking savage killers, but after that, they become like anti-heroes in a sense.
Yeah, especially Blade.
Oh shit! And this one. This one also includes the universe. When I get a chance, I find them. Yeah, they're here. They're still in their. They're still sealed.
I just thought another fucking series not really horror related. That should not had sequels, and that'd be Matrix.
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't
Like the
watched
fir-
any of those movies.
Like
Okay.
the first couple Matrix were good,
The first 3 told a story.
but like after that, it was like they were milking.
Well, they only made one after that,
Oh.
and that was one
Your
came out
boyfriend's over
last year.
Go get,
But the third one did suck. It wasn't that
No,
good.
it wasn't that great, but it did fin.
It finished what the story was supposed to be.
Yeah, and then they decided to bring it back for whatever reason.
Which was dumb. It
You
just
know-
it really didn't need a sequel.
You know what didn't need a sequel? Halloween Kills.
You know, I wonder how long you've been dwelling just to say that.
Okay, hold on. Halloween Kills is a great movie. 2018 Halloween ends. Shut up. Ends
Bitch.
was a good movie until you got to the end.
Kyle, watch this. Watch this. Halloween Ends is actually pretty good.
The second I can put this in a roll-up binder and put a full-size poster of another movie in its place, I will do it. Signature and all.
Nobles!
I can fucking flip this bitch. I can flip this bitch on eBay right now for a couple of grand, but I refuse to have an empty spot on my wall.
Baby. I get
Like I
my
said,
baby.
Ends was good until they got to the end of it. Because
Jesus, get down.
Oh, fucking shit.
they
That's why the title was lackluster.
they filmed.
Over you go.
How many
No.
different endings did they film for that movie,
Alright,
Kevin? Do
yeah.
you remember?
There
There
was
was
seven.
several.
There was 7 different endings filmed for that one, and they settled on the one they chose
Yeah,
instead of the one where both Michael and Laurie survived.
Stop!
Because I remember reading.
Get the box.
Actually, I remember reading one of the endings, in one of the screenplays for it, where they were supposed to actually fight at the radio station.
I think we should watch it again to gain new
Get fucked.
perspective.
I agree. I think we need to
Get fucked.
open our mind's eye and really
All
take
right,
in
that's
movies
3
from
Hold
votes
on,
for
wait!
yay.
Wait! We have an excuse.
I've
Remy
never
hasn't
seen
seen
it.
it.
Bruv, your ass is fat.
We have to watch it. Remy's never seen it.
Josh, that's backwards.
Well, tell your damn dog.
My dog. Sorry.
Remy?
No.
No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I think you've been outvoted there.
Look. All right.
Wait,
look,
no.
wait.
No.
Time out.
No.
I'll stop putting stipulations in place.
Got your fucking stipulations. We're gonna fucking put it on right now.
No,
No,
we're watching Willy's
Willy's
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
It's okay. So
Alright,
here,
fine.
here's no,
Fine,
shut the
fine.
fuck up.
You shut the
no,
fuck
shut
up.
The, we will watch it.
Shut up. We
Yeah.
will watch it.
I've never seen any of the Halloweens.
My
That's
shit.
fine. You
So
can
we
come
watch
over.
all of them.
You shut the fuck up. We will sit.
I don't even like you.
That's not. Hey, that's not fair.
Hey,
You
I've
had
seen
this-
the best one.
She is the
Halloween
chosen one.
You've seen the previous.
You cannot say things like that to her.
My first Halloween was Halloween Ends.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you fucking dick!
I
Why'd
got-
you
You
tell me?
cannot-
I got to
See,
see the
you-
end of Halloween Kills.
You cannot say that to either one of them. They are chosen ones in this house. Damn it.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'll make a stipulation. If they can make
Uh-oh.
time to come hang out with us for a decent amount of time, I will watch
Wait,
Halloween End under the stipulation we watch it in sequence. Halloween,
Uh-huh.
Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends.
Okay.
They have to be watched in sequence, and I will suffer through the last one if you suffer through the first one.
Okay, so that's like a lunchtime thing from start to podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you have a window.
Yeah, they're about.
Mainly for you, because
Yeah.
I could go and pick them up, and you would still be in bed.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes they're still in bed too.
Yeah, but I could get ready in 5 minutes.
No, you can't.
You know,
But-
I'm
but-
pretty
but
sure
before-
somebody else has
before-
told us the same thing.
Before
Shut
we
up, John!
before we do a Halloween-a-thon, I would like you two to watch Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is great.
But I need to watch the first one. I don't even know when.
No. You don't need to watch any of the other ones to watch Halloween 3. It's a
Three-
standalone.
Three is a standalone.
Okay.
It just has the Halloween.
Before
Just don't watch
we
H2O.
decided.
More days to Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, silver
Shamrock.
I watched it the other night and it's been stuck in my head ever since.
It's that type of little.
H2O was pretty bad.
Why do you look all majestic up on the top of the couch?
I love Lucas and you
She's a
could not
bird.
break our love apart.
Resurrection wasn't good either.
No.
She does not do that
I
unless
don't
Lucas
just
is
like the
here.
whole
She's a bird
things
now.
with just
She
like
does
the
not do that unless Lucas is
perspective
here.
viewing.
Yeah. Swear to God.
I
what
look at
the fuck?
H2O and Resurrection the same way I look at
Dude, what?
Jason
what
Goes
did
to
you
Hell
do to
and
my
Jason
dog?
X. Not Ken.
I petted it.
Yeah.
You petted
I
it?
put Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 above H2O and Resurrection.
Yes. And that says a lot.
You know what my favorite Rob Zombie movie is? And it's not the House of a Thousand Corpses movie or anything in that sequence. I really love
Lords of
Lords
Salem.
of Salem. Me and Brie watched it. It was super good. And it, like, the whole story of, like,
That's been a hot minute.
yeah, but she's, like, suffering from addiction and she falls into, like, dark witchcraft. It's super
I'm
good.
pretty sure I've seen it. It's been a while though.
The only thing
I don't recall.
You know what else we need to watch on a movie night? We need to start scheduling movie nights. I have not
The
watched...
Lords of Dogtown.
I have not watched Tales from the Crypt Demon Knights in so long. I haven't watched Tales from the Crypt so long, and I paid to hear that.
I've never seen.
Welcome, kitties.
I've never seen Demon Knights, but I've seen the original Tales from the Crypt movie.
All I'm hearing from all of this.
Nothing.
Nerds.
No.
No.
No. Maybe a little bit. He wants to culture the both of you.
I miss this voice.
Why? Why are you doing that now?
Hello, creeps. Hello, Will. It's your old pal, John Kassir, the voice of the
Jeez, did you feel that? My soul felt that eye roll. Whew.
You only have a soul from our
Shut up, bitch! It's far away and it still
I
felt
used
it.
to, there was a time where I used to be able to fucking imitate the Crypt Keeper almost to a fucking T.
Please don't do it right now.
Kitties. It's better than the goddamn creeper from Creepshow who doesn't say shit besides go. Accurate. Yeah, it was too accurate. You're laughing at it.
I'm pretty good at mimicking the mute people.
We got some culture to do. Yeah, you're on a podcast called Into the Crypt Podcast that has a merely fucking horror-inspired name. You need to be cultured.
No.
Yes.
I'll just close my eyes.
Whatever.
You've been trumped.
Wait.
They've
you
said
close
yes.
your eyes during Willy's Wonderland. I'm gonna give you a lap dance.
I'm legally blind.
Do you need dollar bills?
Alright, we're gonna fucking wrap this episode up, but I do have to say, we only have one more episode before we take a week off. We're gonna take a week off in the week of the Halloween party
Purity animals.
and do some things. And then we're gonna do a podcast, and then the week after is gonna be our 1 year motherfucking anniversary.
Jesus Christ.
We are motherfucking one. We're gonna be 1 year old.
Oh my god.
It's been it will be a year in November since we started this fucking whack ass adventure. From our first couple timid episodes till now.
We're gonna plan to talk about this. We're gonna
Spin
be
the
careful
wheel.
with our language. We're gonna spin the wheel. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, the wheel.
It took like 6 months, and we're like, yeah, fuck that wheel. fuck all of this.
Mind you,
Let's
I
talk
did.
about
That's
this.
a great
I did
idea
have
from-
us guest every week for like fucking 4 months.
Yeah. That's kind of why the wheel disappeared. We were like, all right, we have guests.
God.
Come on.
Well, what was happening was you were using the wheel, picking a topic, and who was supposed to
What the
host.
fuck did you do to Jumbo?
Oh no.
You'll be fine.
But no, it was have a wheel, pick
Rem,
a
it's
topic,
fine.
pick a person.
I don't know where it went.
And then
It's fine. We'll get it.
You know what? You know what? You know what?
I'll get it.
We need a topic for next week.
Oh, do we need a left field topic?
Oh god.
We need a wheel.
Because I'm in right field right now, so.
Do-
I'm
do
not
I
gonna
need to-
have anything.
Is Remy gonna be with us next week? I'll pull the wheel up and put their name on it right now.
I have no idea.
Well, that doesn't fucking help.
I might have.
Well, it's no
planned.
idea because if they get chosen on the wheel. There's just no idea. See, it went right over your head.
The idea of no idea.
Exactly.
No,
He's like
I
an
mean, I
execute.
don't know if I'll be here. Not that I don't have an idea.
No, you've hit nerd territory. This is
Okay.
is
All right,
normal for them.
all right. I'm gonna pitch my idea, and you guys can
God.
shit on me after
No.
the fact. You talk about the history
Oh,
of Halloween.
afterwards. Well, I mean, it is an American culture.
No,
Actually,
no, it's not.
No, what we have adapted
It is
that
definitely
is
American
based
culture.
on something.
All right, yeah.
else.
See, we're already debating this. Are we talking about the history of Halloween next week?
Oh fucking god! Why do I have to? I'm not participating.
You don't have a job anymore. You have more time to research than.
Oh!
Also, she said no. You slapped me. She goes, "Ugh."
There's things I want to say right
Thanks,
now
you said
about
on
the
the phone.
history of Halloween, but if we're gonna do it as a topic, I'm like,
Oh God!
I gotta
you
hear it to
slapped
myself.
me and it's hard, Lucas.
It used to be called
Life
something
hack?
else.
just make it harder.
Exactly.
I fucking love you.
Let's talk about dogs.
You want to talk about dogs?
Dogs.
Aria, do you want us to talk about you next week?
Regular dogs, hot dogs, chili dogs.
Pity bugs.
Crazy dogs.
Stupid dogs.
Grumpy,
stick.
grumpy dogs.
Loud dogs.
Lucas says dogs. I say the history of Halloween.
I was.
Oh, Lucas was just being Lucas. Never mind.
The history of dogs.
Hey,
Oh, fuck no. We don't.
Ariana.
Hell no.
Why it
My phone
originates
vibrated
from
my
a
ass.
fucking
Alright, come
dingo.
on. Get out of here.
All right. So we're. Did anybody else got anything other than me? Because if not, that's what we're gonna be talking
Sure,
about.
history of Halloween. It's gonna be a heated fucking conversation. Woo!
Not if people do their research. There should
Yeah,
be
it's
no...
gonna no, it's
I'm
gonna
just
be a
gonna make
heated
shit
fucking
up.
conversation.
Make shit up.
We're
Just-
We gotta do
hold
tell two
on,
truths and a
hold on.
lie.
Simply
I'm just gonna fucking
between
debate facts. I'm
these
just gonna
two, it's gonna be a heated
gaslight
fucking
the
debate.
shit
Why
out
would
of
it be
people.
So we're
between
gonna talk about
these two?
All right. I'm gonna make
Because
this.
both of you already have your own fucking comments.
We're gonna talk about the history of Halloween
Oh god.
and our greatest Halloween memories.
Ah.
What if,
barely have
what
them.
if what if mine was only like when I moved here, scaring the shit out of people?
That works, bro.
Because-
save it for next week.
Hold
y'all.
on, wait. This needs to be figured out. What is everybody going to be for the Halloween party?
Nothing.
Don't
Oh
worry.
no!
I don't exist.
Oh no, you're gonna be a Disney princess. It's happening.
Oh,
I don't
is
give,
it?
I don't give a
We're gonna make
fuck.
you a
I don't give a
princess.
fuck if the 5 of us have to put money in for you to dress as a Disney princess. You're gonna
Yeah.
fucking be a Disney
You
princess.
better start choosing your
Oh,
princess.
yeah.
You can be. I
Oh,
don't care.
no, he doesn't get to. No, he doesn't get to choose.
I feel like if we're making him dress up as
No!
a princess, he at least gets to choose who he
At least
wants.
somebody respects
No!
my
Yeah, no.
boundaries.
Yeah, no. I'm with Lucas. Fuck you. You're out of this. What prince? What? The same nipple again in the same spot.
Just not as hard.
It still hurt from the first
It
one.
could have been the tip of your dick.
How would you like if I slapped your nipple twice in the same spot?
We will talk about that.
Exactly.
No, you can't even call it kink. You can complain about it.
Oh god, it's so red. It hurts so bad.
Oh,
You
God.
need therapy? Talk to that thing down there.
Let's establish it right now. What princess do you want to be? It's so.
You're asking the wrong person about Disney princesses.
I said Princess Peach.
She's not a Disney princess. Disney Princess Peach.
I said Princess Peach the other day. That was before we talked about Disney.
No, it
No.
was established to
Disney.
be. It's been Disney. Because I was trying to get him to dress up like Elsa.
Your blonde is showing.
Off.
I mean, that's all you
Fuck
see.
that,
in
man.
front.
Fuck off.
Easy there, Jersey. We don't need you to go back to it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you ain't going to get some hoagies, smoke a cigarette, and hit somebody with a sledgehammer.
Secret.
Well, you drink your coffee and you.
You fucking shut up about my goddamn coffee.
Eat some sausage.
Maybe some pork
Anyway,
rinds.
what
Eat a
princess?
fucking dick.
Snow White.
No.
Well, That would mean
no.
we need 7 dwarves.
Cinderella.
No.
I can't wear slippers.
Mulan.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's-
He can be brave. He can
He's
be
not a
Merida.
I got pretty thick hips for Mulan.
We can make you brave.
Bitch ain't got no hips.
I ain't never seen Brave.
I have. She's a fucking Irish one.
Of course you've seen
Alright,
it.
so we're all just gonna chip
I-
together and get him an outfit, and that's what he fucking wears. He has no choice.
He doesn't know, so he doesn't get a choice.
You
You better start watching your Disney movies. You got a couple days.
I ain't watching shit.
Hold on. Does it count if I did my research and I compare it to
I
his
need
face
to order
make
you a
sure that
double
the dress
XL,
matches?
right? Also,
Sorry, I can't hear you over somebody's mouth that's much louder than yours, even at
He's
a low
bigger
tone.
than me. He needs my size.
so he needs a double XL.
X.
Maybe.
Also, when we do this, you gotta wear the skirt with boxers underneath. There's no coming down here in pants and shorts underneath your dress.
I'm just gonna fucking order a kilt.
No.
Ah, there we go. What color kilt does Brave wear?
I don't fucking know.
Green kilt.
Isn't this a green dress though?
It is a green dress.
It is a green dress.
So it's not a kilt.
No.
No,
No,
No, it's just
she
red.
does. She
Fuck
does
off.
not wear a kilt. Her father, on the other hand, does.
Perfect.
No.
Wait, weren't you already voted off of Fuck Off Land? Yep.
Bitch, go eat a dick.
Bitch, I would say the same to you, but we all know that doesn't happen.
Lucas. Lucas. I got it.
Uh-oh.
We gotta fucking split this somehow, but I found it.
What do you got there?
Nah, don't worry about it. You revoked your privileges to have a choice.
No, on the contrary, I never revoked anything. You were too busy listening to Loudmouth going to take a poop.
Alright, then what Disney princess do you want to be, Josh?
I don't know any Disney princesses.
Well,
like that.
you better fucking subscribe to Disney Plus and get watching. Because Corella's
Bitch,
not a
you know where I work. I can't afford Disney Plus.
You best get on 1, 2, 3 movies.
What's it
Hey, Corella's not a princess either, by the way.
There's Belle,
Who?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, he would make a cute Princess Belle.
Beauty and the Beast, Belle.
Yeah. A little yellow dress.
See, this is just you trying to have some payback for me bullying.
No, it's happening. We've decided as a group that you're doing this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I make my own life decisions.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. It's,
No.
by
no,
the way, when
definitely
it comes
do.
to rhythm guitar for Cremation Society, we've decided your character is female and you have to wear a yellow dress. We haven't included you in the writing, so.
Well, that sucks.
And you have to shave your legs too.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You better come up with Disney princesses because I want an answer on next week's episode.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Next week's episode, there is no next week's episode.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Next
Yes!
week is
You're a week ahead.
20th, I think.
Yes, I am the week ahead.
Next week is the 20th. The week after that, we throw a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man
That's
said,
why I don't know
"Oh
if I can
shit."
make it. because
You have
Brothers
7
Brothers
days.
makes me
Alright, we're closing this shit out.
I
We're gonna
got
go watch
shit.
another movie. Thank you guys for joining in this episode of the podcast. Cole, if you're out there, fuck you for making me cry before this episode. I love you, but fuck you. That's all we got.
No, do it again. Fuck him.
Now, fuck you.
Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Yeah, no, this week was fun. We talked horror movies. We watched a horror movie.
Now we watch another one.
We're gonna watch another one.
Wait, why are you doing that?
It's horrifying.
As always, for those of you who tune in and watch us, we love you guys. Tune in next week. We're going to be off the week after that, and then we're going to gear up to get into our anniversary episode, our 1 year celebration. Yeah, I have plans. I'm not going to tell you guys what the plans are because I refuse to. If the plans fall through, then I'll tell you guys what the plans are, but use are out of the loop until further notice. Let's just say there's some revenge to be had. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next time. Deuces!